City Schools Chancellor David Banks will resign at year's end.
Banks' decision to step down came after federal agents seized his phone and other devices earlier this month. A number of other New York City officials have been the seizures of searches in recent weeks amid multiple federal criminal investigations surrounding Mayor Eric Adams and his administration. Banks is the latest member of Adams' administration to depart or announce plans to, following Police Commissioner Edward Cabin, Legal Advisor Lisa Zornberg, and Health Commissioner Ashwan Vasan. Banks' brother Philip serves as the city's deputy mayor, and their other brother Terrence runs a consulting firm locally. All three of them, in addition...
After the two assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump.
We expect that to pass by a wide margin.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson.
What we're going to do this week, as you know, is a very narrow, bare-bones CR. To do only what's absolutely necessary.
Donna Warder, Washington.
The lower house of Russia's parliament has given approval by a wide margin to the first reading of a proposed law barring the adoption of Russian children by citizens of countries where so-called gender transitioning is legal. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Yeah! Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah. It's been a long... All right. It has been a long week already, and we are only halfway there.
It's true.
Lemon on a pear status.
But happy Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm feeling a little better today.
Yeah, you're sounding a little better.
I do. My head's a little clearer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't feel feverish like I did yesterday. So yeah, it's feeling better.
You ever feel like cold germs or sickness germs in general are like... They're like conquerors. They're like, in order for us to leave you alone, we must leave to another person. We must flee to another island.
Yeah.
It always seems like that's the pursuit of, if I have a cold, let me just see if I can get somebody else sick, then I'm not sick anymore. Usually it was a spouse. Half the time it was the missus.
Well, usually I'm always number two.
Mm-hmm.
My wife usually gets the cold or the crud first.
It's school beget sickness beget Kim beget Mike.
Yes. So she gets, and then usually days to a week later, it hits me. And she was sick last week, and then it hit me Sunday. And I'm. This is the first day I feel. I'm not 100 by any stretch, but I feel more human today than I have Monday or Tuesday of this week. So.
I've been kind of all over the place. I was. Yesterday was rough, man. I went home. I immediately fell asleep on my couch. I woke up in a pool of what I can only hope was sweat. And but it was whatever happened or whatever I was going through broke last night, but I was up coughing for most of the night, so another one of those rough goes, but we're gonna soldier on.
Yeah, Mucinex D, that's what I've been taking.
Okay,
that helps.
That's
been my best one, but we're getting through it, so we're gonna do our thing and bust through it. But I went home yesterday and after lunch, I stayed till lunch, and then I went home and I kind of napped for a little bit, and then just kind of laid there. And then about 8 o'clock last night, I went to bed, and I didn't get up till 5:45 this morning, and that helped. I think I slept almost. I did get up, go to the bathroom once or twice.
Sure,
but I slept.
I always feel, and I get it too, because I've done that several times when I'm sick. But I always feel so silly going to bed before like 9.
I do too, but I didn't care.
Right.
I was like,
no, your body was sapped. I get it.
Like I'd be getting my wife into Tulsa King.
Okay.
So we're getting through the first season, so I can start watching
so they
season 2.
Just put the new one out.
Yeah, there's like 1 or 2 episodes into season 2, but we're so there wasn't anything on TV that we wanted to watch, so we put in some Tulsa King, and we started about 6:30 or so, and by 8, I said, Kim, I can't do anymore. We did 2 episodes. I was like, we're done. I got to go to bed. Right. And so because normally we could probably go to about 9, and so we didn't. But yeah, by the way, I think she's into it now. I like it.
Nice.
So she's kind of excited and into it, and it's a good show if you've never seen it. Tulsa King, it's a good show. What's the matter?
Phone call. The boss is calling.
All right, but yeah, that was good. So I got her into that. The other thing I did catch, because this is the other thing when you're homesick, you got the TV turned on, and I just happened to catch. They had a marathon on From Earth to the Moon on yesterday, and on one of the HBOs, and so I saw some of it. Huh?
How many are they going to make?
Oh, they're done with them. They made them years ago, but there's it was a series, and there's like 10 episodes or 11. I don't remember how many episodes.
Okay,
there
it's just they had made that moon landing movie a while back.
Well, this was something that HBO made back in the early 2000s. I want to say around 2004-ish, somewhere around there. And it was Spielberg and Tom Hanks. And it was around the time when they did the first Band of Brothers for HBO. Okay. And then, and it was probably, all fairness, shortly around the same time that Tom Hanks did Apollo 13.
Right.
He was right around that time. And then him and Spielberg partnered up and did basically a mini series on HBO covering the entire Apollo program. And it goes from the early days of the Apollo 1 disaster and carries it through the last Apollo 17 missions and all those.
Yeah.
Which it's pretty interesting. But I caught some of it earlier, but then I'd watched a couple of the later episodes, and I was watching the one about Apollo 15 and Apollo 16, and that's the ones where Cernan and them, where they do mostly science stuff on the moon. And that was an interesting one, because the part that interested me was not even so much the mission that they did, was the training, because they're all these guys were astronauts, and basically they had geologists train the astronauts to be geologists on the moon. So when they collect all the rocks, and they collect the right rocks, they know what to look for. And so because of that training, the astronauts were able to locate a rock that was actually like the crust of the moon, that is kind of like they can use that rock to study and know exactly how old the moon is, what it's made of, and all of that stuff. So it was fascinating, that part, to teach the astronauts on all that.
They were studying moon rocks?
Yeah, well, yeah, but that was that. But anyway, that was, to me, that was more interesting than the actual space mission, was training the astronauts to be geologists. But anyway, that's one thing you can catch when you're on a
It just seems like, besides
TV.
besides World War II and like the Roman Empire, it seems like the moon landing has had like the most movies made about it, or the most stuff made about it.
Well, in the lexicon of things, probably not. I mean, if you look at it, there's by far way more war movies than Apollo or space movies.
Right.
Like true space movies, not Star Wars. Oh, let me turn you back on.
But there's been a lot of focus on specific missions over the course of the last 20 years. Like with Apollo 13, the movie, with From the Earth to the Moon, it was always focused on specific missions. And I think that the amount that they went in depth with those missions is maybe why we're able to, like he was saying, we have more focus on the actual, we know more about these missions because they have a chance to go more in depth.
Part of what is going on too there is we're hitting an age where these astronauts are no longer with us. And so in the last 20 years, these astronauts have been telling their stories, and people have been making books, movies. And so, I got a feeling Tom Hanks got really close with the Lovell family. And hence, if you notice From Earth to the Moon, there's a lot more James Lovell family stuff in there than maybe. And in the big scope of things, James Lovell is no bigger an astronaut than Pete Conrad or Neil Armstrong for that matter.
He's just the one who's had the most story.
He just had the Apollo 13 thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now, in all fairness, Lovell's one of the most experienced astronauts. He went on Apollo. He was on Apollo 8. He was on Gemini 7, and then Apollo 13, which is that's not many astronauts get that many runs. So he does have experience. But in terms of the stuff, his family. But there's actually one episode too that all about the wives, and it goes back into the Gemini wives kind of welcoming in the 9 for the Apollo astronaut wives and that life and the part that's messed up that I didn't realize is till you watch the end of the episode, like almost all the women they cover, and there's about 10 of them between some of the Gemini and some of the Apollo wives, they all end up divorced.
Really?
Yeah, all of them end up, and some of them not years later, like in the 90s or early 2000s, but they almost all of them, some were in the 70s and 80s, but most were in the 90s and 2000s.
It sort of makes sense on like a weird level if you think about it, because, space wasn't good enough for you. How could I possibly be?
Well, and if you understand the role of what the wives of those, it's different too. They were put through a lot.
Oh, sure.
They were, because they were put as beacons, so they kind of had to be the media darlings, at the same time run the household, and also at the same time never see their husbands or their
pretty
family.
much you're a single mother.
I was going to say, even the cute mute one from the...
Yeah. You're talking about John Glenn's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not mute. She just has a stuttering problem.
Or that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm remembering the movie wrong.
Yeah. She's not mute. She just stutters, and she's not comfortable speaking in public. But yeah, it's very much like that. So, but yeah, you're talking about the movie The Right Stuff, which is a great movie. That deals with the Mercury 7. That's the original 7 astronauts. The first guys that went to space. That's John Glenn. That's Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom, those guys. So
is that the same thing that you're talking about?
That's the same thing later.
Okay.
See, all of it. All right, now you're going to get nerd here. So real quick, and then we're moving on because I don't want to get. I know most people don't care about this, even though I do. Okay, Kennedy made his speech in the early 60s about we're going to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. NASA came up with a plan to get to the moon. Okay? The whole Gemini, Mercury, Gemini, and then ultimately Apollo is all of a 3-pronged plan to get man to the moon. The first Gemini 7 were just to see if we could go to space and orbit space and do space. Then the Gemini program was the part where we said, hey, can we have 2 ships go and meet together? Can we do all those things, spacewalk, do those kinds of things? And then the Apollo program said, how can we get 3 guys to the moon and put 2 of them on the moon? How do we do that? And so it's all part of the big thing, but it was in 3 phases: Gemini, or Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo. So that's what. So yes, it is all part of the big thing, but 3 different phases.
It was like a multi-project.
Yes, exactly. So, all right, I'm done nerding up. Let's give me the rundown for the show here. We're going to replay our interview with Amy McVeigh-Tejas and John LeMay from the Historical Society. They've got they got their praying event on the pole here this morning, the flag pole. I know that doesn't sound right, but that's what it is. And then, of course, we talk about their book fair coming up here in October. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have folks from the Eastern New Mexico State Fair join us, talking livestock shows, all the shows, and, of course, the livestock auction on Saturday morning. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us, give us an update on what they've got going on there. Of course, they got fair coming up. They're going to be at the fair, Veterans Parade, tickets. I guess still some of these tickets, by the way. And whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
You couldn't move the tickets, Mike? You got your own show.
I know, I just haven't tried. I've moved like 7. I just got to move this many more.
Just a fat stack more. That's all you got.
That's right. Moving and shaking. All right, before we do anything else, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that'll be hanging around for a while. Upper 80s on the afternoon high today, and we get sunshine. The wind should stay light. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. Our low in the upper 50s, a little bit warmer on Thursday, 90 to 95 on the high, and sunny. Right around the 90-degree mark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will stay sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me refresh my weather. I didn't refresh it. Now it's fresh. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds are currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Sunny and 88 for a high today. That's pretty nice. Winds will be out of the the north at 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 57 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Low 90s for you Thursday. Sunny and 92 tomorrow with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 61 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and highs around 93. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear. Overnight low of 62. And then for the weekend, Saturday, sunny skies. Expect a high of 91. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 89. It looks like we'll be low 90s on Monday, mid 80s on Tuesday of next week. All right, so that'd be good for fair, looks like. All right, 7:19, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with the folks from the Historical Society. Don't go away.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Donald Burden Sr. passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Virginia Gibson passed away September 14th. Visitation is Monday, September 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary will be Tuesday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Letty Lee Bagwell passed away September 15th. Visitation is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Service following visitation at 1 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Elizabeth Stefano passed away September 8th. No services are scheduled at this time. Oturo Ornelas passed away September 16th. Visitation is Sunday, September 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary to follow Sunday, September 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Kelly Keith passed away September 9th. Graveside service will be Thursday, September 26th, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. LaGrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Peter Morris, passed away September 9th. Visitation will be Monday, September 23rd, 10 a.m., with service following the visitation, 11 a.m. at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. John Groover passed away September 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. And Joanne Worthington passed away September 12th. No services are scheduled at this time. This has been today's Remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Check out some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select varieties of banquet pot pies are 99 cents each, and select bags of Food Club frozen vegetables are also 99 cents each. In produce, large Honeycrisp apples are 99 cents a pound, and Roma tomatoes are also 99 cents a pound. In the meat department, boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $2.99 a pound, and family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
October is National Co-op Month, and Central Valley Electric Cooperative is having a Member Appreciation Fall Festival on Wednesday, October 9th. Come join us in the CVE Jack Case Community Room anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. There will be food, games, music, giveaways, door prizes, and more. You don't want to miss it. If you're a CVE member, stop by between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. October 9th and celebrate National Co-op Month with us. We hope to see you there.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 32 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas and John LeMay back with us this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are y'all doing today?
We're good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yay.
Kind of, it's like busy, but it feels like it's the lull between the busy. Like right now with the fair next week, and of course, we got a book fair coming up, but there's just like, it's like we just did a bunch of stuff. We just had Heritage Dinner, and I just feel like, and then
Museum
other events
Day.
going on, Museum Day. It's just like we just hit like this sweet spot. It's like, okay, now we got 12 more things. Let's do the next 12 things. But I feel like we're like in this eye of a hurricane kind of middle.
We haven't stopped, Mike.
I know.
Huh, John? We're just going full force.
Yeah,
There's never a dull moment.
By the way, big thank you to supporting with the Humane Society and the gift basket.
Yay!
That her and Elaine put together an amazing gift basket.
Sweet Stacy too. I'll give a shout out to her too.
And big
It's a group
thank you.
effort.
And it looked beautiful. And it went for money. I didn't hear the final numbers, but they made some money, so it was a win-win for them. So it was good.
And it was great to see the Youth Challenge kids over there.
Yeah.
The girls. I saw a post about the girl power. I'm like, you go, bunch of girls over there doing the work or whatever.
They had a good
That's
crowd.
great.
Food was good. The entertainment was good. It was a good time was had by all. So.
That's good.
But Historical Society is busy. We got a lot going on here. Of course, we just had Museum Day here. But the big thing we're kind of turning now is our historic book fair here in October. This event, we do this? We used to do it once a year, sometimes twice a year, right? It just kind of depends on need a little bit. But this is an event we do because we get donations. The Historical Society we have our archives facility. That's one of our main. We are the kind of the purveyors, the stewards of the J.P. White home, but also the archives facility is another major part of the Historical Society. And we get donations. People give us rare, out-of-print books, things like that, and amazing stuff that we keep in the archives to preserve for all eternity here. However, sometimes we get doubles and triples and quadruples of things. And so we get these books that are very rare and out of print, but we got like 6 copies of them. And our space is very limited in the archives facility. So we would love to be able to keep all 6 copies, but we just can't. So we'll keep 1 or 2 copies, and we keep the good ones. You ain't getting the good ones. Sorry. We're keeping the good. Now, if there's more good ones, you can have the other good ones, but the good ones, we're keeping the good ones. So, but we keep the good ones, and then we offer those others up for other collectors and folks that like to own those kinds of materials. And that way we'll have our little book fair, and you can come and kind of rummage through and see all of our books here, and then take them home for your own collection. And then, of course, all the money raised goes back to the Historical Society and all the great work we do, our 4th grade tours, all that stuff that goes back to that kind of stuff. So we are very appreciative of the people that donate. But sometimes when we got too much of it, we got to do this. So that's what we do. Now, like I said, we don't sell or get rid of anything we don't already have copies of. This is not us, having a fire sale and selling off the archives of the, because you always get these stories every time. It's like, what are you doing? This people don't. No. We're keeping the good stuff. This is literally, we've got this book here, and we've got 7 copies of this book, and we do not need 7 copies of this book. So let's keep 2 copies, and we'll sell the other 5, and that's what we kind of do here. So, but John, what's just because this is John's kind of you're the one who says yes, these books can go. These books are no, we need to keep those. What's kind of like I'm just curious what some of the kind of comments you hear that we can dispel right now.
Well, yeah, first of all, so there's a acquisition sheet that everybody forms, and you check a box that says you want it back if we don't want it, or we can sell it, we can throw it away. And it's, all the books that just came in too are new ones. I mean, new in the sense that they were donated within the last year, and we always check the paperwork, and I haven't seen anyone check it that they want anything back.
But if they do, then we honor that wish, and they don't go to the book auction.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you don't, then we do as we see fit here.
Yeah.
And trust me, things that need to be kept are kept. Literally, the things that are sold at the book fair are things that we do have 3 and 4 and 5 copies of. It's just stuff that we and keep giving us. We are so blessed that folks keep giving us these things. So please don't let this deter you from doing that. We do appreciate it, but there are some things where, like, you know, we only can keep so many forks or so many books or so many of these types of things.
We've even received a couple of rare books that we didn't have copies of races away. Yeah. So we love.
You will not see those at the book fair.
That's for sure.
Unless you want to go down and look at them in the archives, but you will not be able to take one home with you.
When John's eyes light up, you know, he's got that little inventory in his head. He's like, oh, yeah, you know, it's fun to see that.
Yeah, it kind of make. Is there Holy Grail, like, finds out there? Like, is there any books you're, like, been on the hunt for?
You know, a book we don't have that we should have is the biography of J.J. Hagerman.
Okay.
Because I saw it for sale in a bookstore in Las Vegas, and I didn't even know it existed, but we definitely don't have it. We have, you know, the When Hagerman Met the Train book about the town, but we don't have his biography. So if anybody has that, and
bring it to the book fair on October or sooner.
Yeah, because we need a copy in our archives. That's one book I know of that we don't have.
Okay. So there's our Holy Grail, quest of the week. The biography of Mr. Hagerman.
Yeah.
Certainly in the town of Hagerman, there's got to be a copy of that.
I bet there is. I bet there is. That's for sure.
But the event is going to take place on Saturday, October 12th, and it will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Archives facility there on Lee, 200 North Lee. And, of course, you will be there signing books. You got your newest book that you'll be signing, and folks can get copies of. And this one, we talked a little bit about this book. This one's got some stories in it.
Yeah, so this is a book on La Llorona, the Wailing Woman. So there's been a few La Llorona books in the past, but they're very scholarly. Like they were like really delving into like the hidden meaning of La Llorona, and I think most people just want the story.
Sure,
you know,
the history, but where the historical meets the wives' tale meets the what is the alleged, you know, the boogeyman or whatever, you know, the surrounding stuff. And this book is full of that kind of the separating the, you know, what happened or what this meant versus what, you know. And a lot of times when we turn into these things, I think you and I talked about this last time, a lot of times people do these things just because they want to be left alone. It's like, we create a boogeyman because we're tired of people showing up. You know what I mean? But that's what the book talks. So if you want to, you know, please get a copy of the book there, or if you already got a copy, come get it autographed, and you'll be happy to chit-chat, or any of John's books, not just his latest book, but all of them.
Yeah, and we'll have the New Mexico Book of Witches there, too. That sells insanely well in northern New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a hot seller during the museum day.
During museum day, we sold almost all of them.
I think John stayed in that corner all day.
Yeah.
Well,
with raffle tickets and books, he stayed busy. We all did. Because
that does cross genres. I mean, you get historical buffs, but then you get, you know, your witchcraft and Halloween fans that were going to equally like that type of stuff, you know.
And that cover's beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks good. It is good. I mean,
well, and it's just a topic where you know, people are drawn to that. It's like, ooh, witches, witchcraft, you know. There's a reason there's all kinds of movies and books about Salem.
It draws to the eye, and then once they start looking, then it gets
sure.
it's hot item.
But it's order. But what I love about it, it's where you meet the historical, the wives' tale, again, the same thing, you know, with, you know, you get into, especially when you talk about witchcraft and stuff, half of that is just people not knowing the science sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And it's chalked up to witchcraft.
That's true.
And so I'm sure you get a little bit of unexplained and explained in those books there, too. Is Donna going to be at this book fair?
I don't believe so, but we'd love for her to surprise us and show up.
She's more welcome to if she wants to show up. But,
she's been very busy down there, but we can only hope. Anything's possible. I guarantee you one thing, if she can be there, she'll be there. So you never know.
I highly recommend check out some of Donna Blake Birchall's books while you're there as well. She's got her Wicked Women series, so when you're done witching, reading about witches, you can read about wicked women. And some ghost town books too in there too. So.
And she has a new one called Scoundrels.
Oh, yes. And we have that book. If people are listening and thinking, because we hear this a lot, Donna, I think I've got all of John's, books and Donna's.
I don't think you do.
Well, first of all, we want a challenge because I'm sure they don't. But that's a great new book for Donna, too. So if you have a lot of Donna's, that is a new one. And we do have it in stock.
Yeah.
We also still have Dewey Johnson books
Okay.
autographed and still in
baseball
stock. That's
fans
a
and
rarity. I mean, we have autographed. He was so great. So I just happened to think about that. If you missed that event,
and
we
that's-
still have his autographed
And
books
that's
too.
baseball history as much as New Mexico history, and Joe Bauman obviously history there too.
What
but
history.
but that's a great that's another great story. And so another aspect, of course, we'll come ask about it at the book fair here. Of course, if you're looking for Elvis Fleming books and stuff, we do have those and all too. But at this book fair, like I said, if it's those double copies of those rare out of print books, if you're looking for those, if you're a book collector yourself, or maybe there is a particular book you remember from you were a kid, and you're like, man, I would love to have a copy of that to read to my grandkids or something like that. Take a gander. Come to the book fair. Are we going to have our old display books available? Like sometimes we get old books that are just old books. They're not valuable.
Yeah, and books that people like to rip out the pages.
Yeah,
and
use them
just
for
the
arts and
covers.
crafts or
Yes.
decor
Yeah,
stuff.
we've got some of those. Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
I love that because I love when we're at Holiday Magic because guaranteed some of those women from Holiday Magic have come to our book.
Yeah.
I love that it's, we're partnering together on you guarantee that's going to happen.
Well, also, to me, in some weird way, that also extends history. Okay,
Yes,
it's not its intended purpose,
Right.
but what's it going to evoke when someone sees that someday and say, "What's that about?" And then,
Triggers.
Exactly.
It's true.
So I love, and plus, it's repurposing. That's always a good thing. Anytime you can find a new life or something that it's reached the end of it, that's a good thing. So, I love all that. But the book fair is something if you've never been to one, come make October 12th your first one. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Archives Facility, 200 North Lee. They're going to be the $5 mystery bags, as always.
We'll have some fun.
Not forget that. And that's kind of, so you pay $5, you get a bag of books. We guarantee you're going to get at least your $5 back.
And you can't be digging around in there.
Oh, yeah. No Lixies, no Dixies, no Swapsies.
Throw tickets.
Yeah, you can't lick it and dip it. You can't rummage through it. You can't do the old switcheroo. None of that. You get what you get. But we do have the $5 mystery bags, and all of them will be guaranteed worth more than $5. But who knows what you get? That's the mystery bag here as well.
So, John, can you give them a teaser on your new book?
Yes. Oh, yeah, about La Llorona.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all
Well,
over
and a
that.
new one.
Oh, the other new one. Yeah. So,
Not the new one, but the new
The new one. You just
Yeah.
give me a little hint.
This one's got it doesn't even have new book smell yet. It's so
No, it's not finished yet, but it's these newer books I'm doing are about 186 pages, which isn't much actually. And
yeah, but how many hours of research does it take for you to write 186 pages?
Oh, that's not much.
Like I'm saying, there's probably 100 hours of research for 186
Seriously.
pages of probably, and I'm probably lowballing it. I have no idea.
I never ever tally up the hours, but I usually get them done in about a month.
Okay,
And that's about it. Yeah.
so gee whiz curious. Now I'm just gee whiz curious. So if it take about a month, is that 8 hours a day every day, or is that like twice a week, 8 hours? Like how often are you doing that?
Maybe 2 hours a day.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So a little bit each day. All right, I was just gee whiz curious. I'm like, because I don't know if you go home and then you're like to the office, and then he barrels, blocks himself in.
Yeah.
And I picture a typewriter. I know no one uses typewriters anymore, but he's got one in there just because.
That's just saying.
I feel like all writers should have a typewriter. Even though they don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. So I'm sorry, I hijacked that.
Oh,
and
it's
got
okay.
talking about that. Please continue about the
Well, I
news
think
book.
the one I'll have done in time for Holiday Magic is I'm pretty sure I'm going to call it Legend and Lore of Chavez County.
Okay.
And no aliens, and it'd be more rural folklore, cowboy type stuff.
Okay. So would this kind of cover the time period when Chavez County was Dominus Ominous and said you are no longer Lincoln County, you were Chavez County?
I'll have to do a little bit. Lincoln County too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's exciting.
Yeah, because by the way, when Billy the Kid was Billy the Kid, we were in Lincoln County.
Yeah.
This is Lincoln County. So,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
You might learn that. Come to the historical site. We'll teach you some things.
We've got some great new volunteers around the archives. A lot of activity going on.
Absolutely. And by the way, please share this. We are open by appointment. If you want to get a tour with your family, or if you've got family in town, or you want to
you got a youth group or anything like that, we'll give you a customized tour that's just for you and your group.
For sure.
And all you got to do is give us a call, reach out to us, and set up a time that works for everybody, and we'll make sure we have our docents there and ready to give you a bang-up tour of and it's available. We don't have set hours per se, but we'll make appointments. We'll get you there. Of course, we have our museum days, and certain times we'll be open for the day, but we're open by appointment anytime. If you want to come and view it on a Tuesday, we'll make that happen.
If we had set hours, I don't think we would have been able to have done half of what we've done.
It does give us the
summer, we were
flexibility.
doing tours for school kids over the summer. We just hosted Leadership Roswell. Just got a call about a school group next week talking about some school
April will
history
be here
clubs.
before you know it, or May.
And
March
we're actually doing things a little bit earlier, but we've had a calls, and I think there's really a good spark. Sometimes when things in our world are getting a little dark, I want to encourage and let people know our mere intention is to be a beacon of light. We certainly focus on the youth of generations, which, by the way, we just got a $300 donation yesterday to allow us additional scholarships coming up.
How nice
that
is that?
means a lot to us. And if
Absolutely
people
does.
think we're sitting around not doing much, let me tell you something. We're involved with New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy more than we ever have. That is a spark of ray of sunshine for our future. We were involved since they've gotten there. We're going to be involved till they graduate.
Absolutely.
They're going to get school tours. They're going to help us around. And I'm going to tell you something. That's how we roll.
Well,
that's very, very important.
And don't misunderstand. They help us too, and that's the part that gets me. Is yes, we're able to do these things, but at the same time, they get to use this as they're learning to find their way into life, learning responsibility, learning these different things that through Job Corps, and so. It is awesome that
you challenge.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. They may be
they're
part
all
of that.
amazing. Every one of these
They
groups,
are. That is right.
Titles to me they're all do great stuff.
But I just mentioned You Challenge because we've got scholarships coming up in December, but we'll do more. That never stops.
Yeah.
So we do 2 cycles for New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy.
But it's
then
a win-win.
we do the high school.
We can't do what we can't. Without Youth Challenge, we wouldn't be able to pull off the things we pull off.
That is true.
And so it is a partnership in there, but it's so. And those youth are amazing kids. You go and they see and you could see that they take pride in what they do and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. It's like, all right, we got kids that are making that difference, and it's great to see. And I'm sure these are what Amy does. What Amy does is the day she's having, because I'm sure you have your days where you want to punch walls and can't. She'll have one probably later today. But
you know what? You know what? If we have that day, let's be clear. We're going to bring on more sunshine at the end of the day, which reminds me,
But those
Mike,
moments, like You Challenge, change that. And then you see those moments, you're like, it was worth it. It was worth pulling up with
an
so-and-so.
update. We got an
crap.
update because it's crazy, Mike. Some of our scholarship kids are now married with kids, and I'm like, okay, I almost feel like a great grandma. We got an update. Some of our kids are studying abroad. And we've got one dynamic individual. She's going to be a doctor. I think she's living in Australia, and she's got 2 kids. And I'm like, oh my goodness, those are our kids, and they're flourishing. And then it's the next generation.
And it does make you feel good that our little part played a role in where they're at today.
So, friendly reminder, if you haven't been updated lately on what's going on, because I'm going to be honest, I can't keep up with John and all the books he's writing, and if y'all can't keep up with all the great things we're doing, I want to encourage individuals, all you have to do is become a member of this historic society
That
for
is
as
a great
minimal
way
as
to
$30, and you're going to get all these updates. You're going to get things in the mail. You're going to see our newsletter, because if you don't know, you don't know, but I'm going to be honest, I think you're missing out on all the great
And we have
things that
different
are happening.
sponsorships
Yes.
levels. So if you
30
and
to
obviously
scholarship.
the bigger package, the bigger perks and things. But for as little as $30 a month or $30 a year, you can support the Historical Society. But corporate levels and all that too.
For sure. Business.
Another way to support too is we do have that archives facility that you can house. According to the fire marshal, 75 people. But if you've got to have a small meeting, even if you want to have a meal there, because we do have a kitchen there. We can rent that out, or maybe if you're having a small quinceañera, birthday party, or wedding reception. By the way, and now that we're getting into the fall, it's going to be beautiful picture time again. That time of year with the fall and the colors changing. Certain times of year, spring and fall, right around the season change, that's usually the most beautiful time to kind of hang out on the property there. So.
We're going to start seeing Danielle and Stephanie and all of them more often with those pictures.
Yeah, because the leaves will fall and then the holiday lights come up right after that. So true. it's kind of the pretty time of year for.
That's right.
You know, the only time it matches is when we get our garden clubs out there and the fires are blooming and everything else in the spring here. So. But those are great ways to support. There is come in and do that, and then of course. If you want to be a volunteer, we're always looking for more people to be docents or youth groups that want to. Or if you're looking for opportunities there, please don't hesitate to reach out. We do have some great volunteers, but let's face it, a lot of them are retirees and things, and they have grandkids and lives, and they don't want to devote their whole lives to us. Imagine that. So we need more people to do that.
Well, and they're being safe, you know, through the flu season and those kinds of
things. Well, and that's just it too.
Yeah.
You're older, gotta protect you, and so you know maybe they don't do it as often. So if you're looking for those kind of, and I'm telling you, being a docent's fun. It's and any age we've had as young as 10 years old doing it, all the way to 80 years old and 800 years old.
Some.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Families do it together. Sometimes we have the Ackerman weekend where you just have a bunch of Ackermans running around giving you tours all day.
That's right. Whether it's Ackermans, the Strangers, that's true. Whole family. That's true.
Absolutely. So please come out. Is there anything I missed? Anything?
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day.
Oh, thank you.
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day.
That was one of the main things we need to talk about.
Right.
I got wrapped up on this and all about the other stuff.
Tomorrow is See You at the Pole Day, and I called somebody yesterday, and she said, "What does that mean?" And I said, the intention is clear and simple.
Yep.
It's a time to go to a flagpole and come together to pray. So we will be at the Historical Society flagpole tomorrow. I know Father Yarrick will be there. I know Grace Community Church new pastor Nate Marsh will be there.
So
we welcome anybody.
A multi
We do, and I love it. It's the coming together. Bring your families. Walk down if you're at the Roswell Independent School District, or if your office is close. Walk down. We'll start right at 9:00.
Yeah.
Jason Garcia is our board president. We start punctual on
Jason,
time.
when he's not helping us, he is employed with the New Mexico Military Institute. He has a military background, and he doesn't mess around when it comes to
whether
time.
he's there or not, we're going to start at 9:00.
If you're on time, you're late. That's his mindset.
Well, that's right.
So, yep.
So stop by tomorrow, See You at the Pole. If you can't be there, gather and join from wherever you are. Just take a moment. A lady that just called me, Miss Jane, that's in Arizona, I guarantee you, 9:00 on the dot, she's going to be praying from Arizona. Let's just come together.
Arizona time or Mountain? No, I'm just kidding.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But we really want to encourage on behalf of the Historical Society. Let's come together. Let's take a moment. Let's pull together in honor of history, and let's just take a moment.
Absolutely. That's, obviously, it's a big time of year, and with the elections and everything else. Yeah, pray. Praying's praying's got a lot of power in it, and I believe in that. And I do think there's strength in numbers, and I do believe, when you do have a concentrated effort of people at one location praying the same thing, that I don't know how all that works, but I feel like that's got a brighter beacon than maybe some of the other ones there. Like, I don't know if it shoots the email up to the top there. I don't know how that works, but I feel like it's got a little bit more power there.
That's right.
Please do a part of that. And of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about here, RoswellNMHistory.org is our website. There you can see everything we talked about here. Order books. Christmas is around the corner. If you need Peter Hurd prints or books, John LeMays or any of our other authors, you can do some great shopping on our website there. And we can even get autographed copies of books and things. If you give us a little heads up, we'll make sure to get those signed and sent to you and all that good stuff.
A lady just the other day picked up autographed books, and that's something I do want to mention. John is around there a lot, but it never fails. We may leave, and that's when somebody give us a call in advance, because John's around there so often, whether he's here or not, we can get his autographed books. Or if you can't keep up with him, because I can't, call the museum, and he can keep you updated on what's to come.
Well, when he's, I guess, I imagine there's in the room doing the typing in the archive facility, and he's a buff dude, so in the gym's the other third. That's the third.
There you go.
That's the pie. Catch on one of those three
there
places.
You go.
So, very good. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
And we'll see y'all next time. And then we're just doing our thing. So,
doing our thing.
Deal.
That's right.
Thank you all. All right. It is 9:57. Let's go ahead and do a quick Wall Street business update and weather and
your Pecos Valley
we're
news
wrapping up the
update.
show. Go
I'm
on.
Jared Cirillo. Members of the Artesia Senior Center are credited with bringing home 74 ribbons at the Eddy County Fair. Molly Simmons had 14 entries. She won 12 blue and 2 red ribbons for her ceramic bunny, a fused glass Christmas ornament, and various needlework entries. Gail Walls also had 7 entries. She won 6 blue ribbons for her homemade jewelry and fused glass Christmas wind chime and floral decorations. And Mary West had 33 entries, winning 20 blue ribbons, 8 red and 3 white ribbons for her crochet work, painting artwork, and floral decorations. New Mexicans can fish for free during the state's free fishing weekend this Saturday and Sunday. Fishing will be free in public fishing waters throughout the weekend. The free fishing weekend coincides with National Hunting and Fishing Day, which is September 28th. A great time to take your family fishing and teach them a skill that provides a lifetime of enjoyment, according to Director of New Mexico Department of Game and Fish, Mike Sloan. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
What if, in a moment of crisis, your voice was the only thing you couldn't use to get help? Not a pleasant thought, but it happens. I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 at protectwithkim.com. There are ways to ask for help without saying a word. The new tile trackers have an SOS feature. Press the button 3 times, and your friends will get an alert that you have an emergency. If you want to contact 911, you'll need a subscription, $25 a month. But remember, your phone has built-in emergency SOS features too. On an iPhone, press and hold the side button and the volume button until the SOS slider shows up. On Android, press the power button 5 times quickly to trigger emergency services. Parents, be sure that you teach your kids how to call 911. Recently, a 4-year-old girl didn't know how to do this on her phone when her mom collapsed. Luckily, the girl knew how to ask Alexa to make the call for her. There's still time to enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 at winfromkim.com. Do you need statistics to finally convince you to bite the bullet and get good antivirus software? Well, here's the cold, hard truth. Ransomware makes up 68% of all cyber attacks. 72% of businesses were attacked by ransomware last year. Phishing scams are the most reported cybercrime in the United States. And last but not least, AI-powered cybercrimes are rumored to make up 85% of these scams. When you're not using antivirus software, you're at major risk, period. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Protect yourself now. My pick for antivirus security software is the award-winning Total AV. Go to protectwithkim.com right now for protection that's just $19 a year. You get antivirus protection up to 5 devices. Go to protectwithkim.com before it's too late. You don't need to be a victim. Go to protectwithkim.com. You'll get great antivirus software at 85% off. That's protectwithkim.com, protectwithkim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that'll be hanging around for a while. Upper 80s on the afternoon high today, and we get sunshine. The wind should stay light. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. Our low in the upper 50s, a little bit warmer on Thursday, 90 to 95 on the high and sunny. Right around the 90-degree mark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will stay sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. District opener for the NMMI boys soccer team yesterday, and they wallop Socorro on the road by a score of 8-2, led 5-0 at halftime. NMMI hosts Hatch Valley this Saturday at 5. Roswell, meanwhile, in boys soccer, beats Lovington on the road 3-2, and they'll host Portales this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Volleyball action, Goddard defeats Clovis 3-2. Clovis won the first set, but Goddard won the last 3, the last 2, 25-7. and 15-6. It was Roswell losing in girls soccer to Artesia 2-1. And yesterday, Goddard wallops Chaparral in girls soccer 10-0. That was at Chaparral to move to 7-5-1 on the season. Goddard plays Santa Teresa Thursday at 4. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is pledging not only to stop U.S. businesses from offshoring jobs, but also take other countries' jobs and factories. In a speech Tuesday in Georgia, the former president called for broad tariffs that he said would spark a new American industrialism. Trump said he would not only, quote, stop our businesses from leaving for foreign lands, but under my leadership, we're going to take other countries' jobs. U.S. stocks drifted to more records in a quiet day of trading. The S&P 500 rose 0.3% Tuesday to set an all-time high for the 41st time this year. The Dow Jones added 0.2% to its own record set the day before, while the Nasdaq gained 0.6%. Treasury yields sank after a surprisingly weak update on U.S. consumer confidence raised traders' expectations for deeper cuts to interest rates by the Federal Reserve. Prices for oil, copper, and other commodities rallied following a slew of moves by China's central bank to prop up the world's second-largest economy. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
When you're healthy, you can do amazing things. We're all about that. Because if you don't have access to health insurance through your work, or you just lost Medicaid, Be Well can connect you to the right health plan for you, your family, and your budget. We want to make your life a little easier, worry-free, and healthier. Because your health is everything. Be strong, be adventurous, and be amazing. Be Well. New Mexico's health insurance marketplace. Learn more at BeWellNM.com.
It's almost time for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair in Roswell. H.F. Sinclair invites you to attend the fair for all the fun and excitement it brings. From the concerts and shows to the livestock shows and 4-H sale to the food and model trains. The Pecos Valley Model Railroad giant HO scale train layout has been in operation at the fair since 1983. The train layout is inside the exhibit building in the fair, and trains are operating every day. H.F. Sinclair is a proud supporter of the Pecos Valley Model Railroad and hopes to see you at this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month. And test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles. And don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:57. Got a few minutes here before the top of the hour news and all that. Stay tuned. Next hour, we'll talk Eastern New Mexico State Fair. We're going to talk livestock shows. Jonathan James will join us and talk about different livestock shows, the livestock auction and all that next week at Eastern New Mexico State Fair. So that's next hour. Don't forget, we were talking with the folks from the Historical Society earlier about their historic book fair, but don't forget they also have their event at 9 o'clock where they're going to have a little prayer session out at the flagpole there in front of the Historical Society there on Lee Street at 9 a.m. this morning. And they're welcome to everyone and anyone that come by and pray. And, of course, with the elections coming up, just asking people to pray. And that's what they're doing, just, the power prayer. So if you're so inclined and would like to participate, we're welcome everybody. Come on out at 9 a.m. to the Historical Society. They're right at the flagpole, right in front of the J.P. White home and the archive facility right there. Just park there in the archive facility, and you'll see a gathering of people and join them. And it's just a few minutes. They'll be in and out in just a few minutes, and so it won't tie up your day too long. But if you're so inclined, I invite you, and I would love to be there, but you know where I'm at 9 a.m. So I'm unfortunately I always miss those, but I do invite you to get on out there and have some fun. Don't forget too that the Golden Gloves New Mexico Hall of Fame ceremony is happening this Saturday night out at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. You can get tickets for that. There's going to be 11 different New Mexicans honored in this year's Hall of Fame, a few Roswellians in there as well. at 6 p.m. Reach out online. You can to Ray Baca there and get tickets for the event. I believe tickets will be available at the door. However, you know how that is. They love to get the advance tickets so they have enough food for everybody and all that good stuff. So, but that is Saturday night, and come on out for that. That'll be a great experience too. Also, there's going to be a dance out at West Presbyterian Church Saturday night as well. Tom Blake, they're going to have another dance out there. We're actually going to have Bob in tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour to talk more about it. But Saturday night, they'll have the dance out there. Usually it's very affordable. I don't have the flyer in front of me, but usually it's like $5, and they have a great night of entertainment and food, and do a bunch of fun out at Westminster Presbyterian Church. So they're going to have another dance Saturday night. So if you've been kind of hankering for one, haven't been to one in a while, they got one on Saturday night. But we'll talk more with Bob about that tomorrow in the 9 o'clock hour there. So, of course, we will have football on the radio for you Friday night. Roswell, Goddard, everybody in action. We'll have, of course, the Roswell broadcast for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Goddard broadcast on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fiero. Audio on those games there. I know we'll have video for Roswell. I'm not sure on the Goddard. I've been sick, so I haven't checked in. All right, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. In what was apparently a first, Hezbollah targeted Tel Aviv, launching a rocket from Lebanon. It was shot from the sky by Israeli air defenses, and Israel's military reports no damage and no casualties. The Tel Aviv-bound rocket was among scores fired at Israel from Lebanon. Just yesterday, Israel killed the head of the Hezbollah rocket and missile program. Communist China claims a successful test launch of an ICBM.
The Chinese military says that this practice launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile was not directed at any country. But according to analysts, the need for such testing would appear to point towards significant nuclear weapons expansion here.
The BBC's Stephen McDonnell in Beijing. Florida's Gulf Coast getting ready for an unwanted visitor. Tropical storm Helene expected to gain hurricane status by the time it makes landfall tomorrow in the Big Bend.
Everybody who is in the path of Helene, particularly in the northeast Gulf Coast, should be making their preparations right now because the time to make them will be running out today.
Jack Bevan at the National Hurricane Center. No all clear sounded just yet in Ohio, where a chemical leak that brought about evacuations has stopped.
This is the sound of a pressure release valve on a rail car leaking styrene Tuesday in Cleves, Ohio, near Cincinnati, prompting a half-mile evacuation of homes and schools. Styrene is a toxic and flammable chemical used to make plastic and rubber. It can cause headaches, nausea, and respiratory issues, and long-term exposure can lead to more serious health problems. Firefighters sprayed down the rail car. I'm Julie Walker.
On Wall Street, stocks are mixed so far. The Dow is down 98 points, while the Nasdaq is 48 points higher, and the S&P is up 4. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
We're told it's a sign of the times, a rise in the number of young people who are having problems with their vision. Specifically, they are nearsighted.
Levels of myopia have been rising globally for the past 30 years and have been historically high in East Asia. This latest review of data on 5 million children suggests their eyesight was made worse during the COVID lockdowns by spending less time outdoors and more time looking at screens. People in urban areas, females and those who spend a long time in education are more prone to the condition. Experts say children straining their eyes during activities such as playing computer games, watching TV and using mobile phones, particularly at a young age, is to blame.
The BBC's Philippia Roxby. Australian Treasurer Jim Chalmers will become the first government minister from Australia in that key economic role to visit China in 7 years, a sign that strained bilateral relations are mending. Townhall.com. A bipartisan Senate bill would require mental health warnings for social media.
The Stop the Scroll Act is a joint effort from Republican Katie Britt of Alabama and Democrat John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. The bill requires that pop-up warning labels created by the Surgeon General and the Federal Trade Commission appear each time users log on to social media, something the Surgeon General described earlier this year as a contributing factor to what he called a mental health emergency among young people. Bob Agner reporting.
Kamala Harris will visit Pittsburgh today, her fourth trip to the western Pennsylvania region since becoming the Democrats' presidential candidate. Republican standard-bearer Donald Trump was in Georgia yesterday, elaborating on his plans for getting the U.S. economy back on track. Among other things, he says he'd like to drop the corporate tax rate to 15%. And Trump has labeled Kamala Harris the tax queen. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Produce
of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy middle of the week Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Hope your day's going well.
The real calm before, not even the calm before the storm. We're like in the eye of the storm because we had just the hecticness that was the last few weeks, the hecticness that is going to be the next several weeks. And we're just right here.
Yeah, in the eye before it all.
Look, a cow.
The Twister cow.
There's a Twister cow.
Have you seen the new Twister movie?
Twisters?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
I have not either.
I've heard really good things, though.
Okay.
And I will say, phenomenal soundtrack.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, amazing soundtrack. Just top to bottom, it is.
Really?
It's really good. Huh. Yeah, I've been listening to it on Spotify. Now, granted, you have to have an appreciation for country, especially like southern, like Texas, Oklahoma country, to fully appreciate it.
Okay.
But I mean, you got the likes of Luke Combs, Jelly Rolls on there. Morgan Wallen has a track. It's real good.
It just surprises me because, like, growing up, that was kind of a big deal. Some movies had soundtracks that were very, like, arguably like the Top Gun soundtrack.
Right.
Was a huge sell. The Crow was a very big.
I would say the Boogie Nights. The Boogie Nights soundtrack is one of those that stands the test of time.
Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Was a 2-disc soundtrack because it covered so many generations. I mean, you had everything from 60s to 80s in that thing. So, and that was a very popular. I mean, it seemed like if you were a music, you grew up where you had the 60 CDs, 600 CDs. Forrest Gump soundtrack was usually one of them because it covered so many genres of music that most people just had it in their collection,
But you don't really see...
But you don't see that as much anymore.
And I'll tell you what I think it is I would say around the mid 2000s is when all those epics started coming out. You had your Lord of the Rings, and a lot of the Marvel movies, and what you started seeing were less soundtracks and more cinematic scores.
Well,
you were getting a lot of like, this is the music that you hear in the background of the scene.
Yeah,
scenes.
but back in the 80s, there was both.
Yeah.
Because not all movies had soundtracks. Yes, you had your now I know Last Mohican's more 90s, but that was, that one actually sold well, but it was all theatrical music.
Robin Hood. Like Robin Hood was a huge soundtrack.
But Robin Hood also had artists singing songs.
Yes.
Bryan Adams, that Die For You song, if you could not turn on a radio and not hear that song in that time period.
You know it's true.
Oh my God, Bryan Adams, like he hasn't done anything in 20 years, but if you evoke Bryan Adams, like, oh, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
To this day, I heard it so much.
You know why? It's because it cuts like a knife.
I'd take a cuts like a knife. I'm so sick of Die For You that I'd take a good cuts like a knife.
No, you're going to have to have one to get the other.
Now my phone's going to throw that out the window. Cuts like a knife on there.
Get so much recommendation. So much Bryan Adams coming your way. But I'll tell you, I think maybe the movie that turned things around again, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Yeah.
Everybody had that soundtrack.
Your valid point. But like certain movies just you automatically assumed. Like Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
You're like, okay, and you're going to get a soundtrack for that. Some TV shows even had huge hits.
Oh, yeah.
Miami Vice soundtrack was a big, big own in that early mid 80s when that whole that rocket or whatever that song was. Yeah, that was huge.
Even in my generation, the OC, they had a huge like soundtrack thing. It was like 3 volumes of like all the songs featured on the OC.
Yeah. I owned a soundtrack to a movie that the soundtrack was actually bigger than the movie. Like most people probably don't even heard of the movie now.
Okay.
But the songs that were on the soundtrack were very big. The movie To Live and Die in L.A. Do you even remember that movie from the 1980s?
I don't. I remember I've heard the title once or twice.
I've seen the movie, and quite frankly, I don't remember a whole lot about it. It was kind of a thriller mystery type action movie. And it had big stars, of which I can remember none of them now. But I remember the soundtrack was like, I feel like there was a Cure song that was like big at that time, To Live and Die in LA, and there was a whole thing about that.
It came out in 85.
Okay.
Starring William Peterson, Willem Dafoe, John Turturro. Let's see who else that we would know. Dean Stockwell was in there.
And some of these guys were bigger.
Robert Downey Sr.
Yeah, he had a.
That's significant.
Yeah, I think he had a cameo. I don't think he was the main character.
Jane Levy's.
Robert Downey. Was it Robert Downey Sr.?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know who that is. I was thinking of Morton Downey Jr., which is Robert Downey's uncle.
I don't know.
They're related. Morton Downey Jr. and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I'm sure they're
related.
related in some form or fashion.
I feel like it's his uncle, but I'm not 100% certain.
I legitimately never have heard of Robert Downey Sr. in anything, but I'm going to try to find the soundtrack here. Let's see.
It's very 80s. I mean, it sounds like a 80s, but it was very popular at the time.
Ooh. Lullaby, Wake Up, Stop Dreaming. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Studio album. That's an album by Wang Chung.
Wang Chung was popular at the time.
Movie soundtrack. Maybe were they solely responsible for the movie soundtrack? Huh. I'm not sure. I'll do some looking into it if you want to give us the rundown.
Okay. Yeah, I it's like I said, I'm having fleeting memories from it, so I don't remember all of the stuff, but it is definitely it was very big at the time. Let me give you the rundown, as Sean had mentioned here. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then here in a few minutes, we're going to talk some Eastern New Mexico State Fair. The livestock side of things, we're going to have Jonathan Dudley and James Duffy join us here to talk livestock shows and the livestock auction and all that good stuff. Later on in the hour, we'll also get you up to date with news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
All I'm finding, the original motion picture soundtrack to Live and Die in L.A. was Wang Chung.
I know there was other songs.
It's a studio, an album, Wang Chung studio album. I'm honestly, I didn't know anything beyond Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Like, I feel like there was...
Actually, that's a lie. Dance Hall Days was another big one from them.
I feel like there was a Cure song in there somewhere. Because I had the soundtrack. I remember hearing the soundtrack. And I'm pretty sure there was, like, Cure on there. But maybe I'm wrong. It was in the 80s. It was a different time.
Everybody was all coked out. It was a crazy time to be
14.
alive.
I wasn't. And to be honest...
At 14. Y'all want to start a business?
And at that time, it was popular, but not my cup of tea.
Right.
Like, I'm going to guess around 85, I was more into Billy Idol and INXS.
Okay. I can see it.
And of course, Fleeting getting into Metallica. That was around the time where I started. Puppets came out in '86, so that was around the time I started. They started getting on my radar.
I'm just trying to picture young Mike Winters with teased, coiffed hair.
No feathered. It was feathered. Yeah, very feathered. I had so much
down
feathered.
in the front.
I had a lot of hair back then.
Yeah,
you wouldn't believe it now, but back in the day, I had hair.
Sure, Tully Savalas.
Yeah, it was when you were a kid. Oh, your hair's so thick. Oh, here I am at 50. Yeah. Screw you people. All right, it is 8:15. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that'll be hanging around for a while. Upper 80s on the afternoon high today, and we get sunshine. The wind should stay light. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. Our low in the upper 50s, a little bit warmer on Thursday, 90 to 95 on the high and sunny. Right around the 90-degree mark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will stay sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58% with winds out of the north at 6 miles per hour. We are looking at sunny skies today. Expect a high of 88 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 57 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Thursday, sunny. Low 90s tomorrow. 92 are expected high with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear. With an overnight low of 61 degrees, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 93 for a high, north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 62 degrees. For the weekend on Saturday, sunny skies and a high of 91. Sunny and 89 for Sunday, and then parade day and really officially day one of the fair. Sunny skies, 91, and then Tuesday looks like 86, mid-80s. So, at least so far for the first half of, or the first part of Fair Week next week, looks like weather's going to be pretty good. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to talk with Jonathan Dudley and James Duffy, talking Eastern New Mexico State Fair, talking about livestock and livestock shows and auction and all that good stuff. Don't go away.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair is back September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. A whole week of awesome animals, amazing food, and some of the best entertainment in the whole galaxy. It all kicks off with Wright's Carnival Sneak Peek Friday the 27th from 4 to 11 p.m. and Saturday the 28th from noon to 11 p.m. The parade is Monday at 10 a.m. down Main Street and gates open for the fair at noon. Tuesday is Ride 'em Cowboy Day with admission and an all-day ride pass for just $25. Wednesday is Senior Day and Dollar Ride Day. Thursday is Canned Food Night, where 2 cans of food get you a wristband for just $25. Then don't miss the Pecos Valley Ranch Rodeo Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. Plus, parking and concerts are free with your paid admission to the fair. Log on to enmsf.com to learn more. The 2024 Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Ad paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax. The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Round up your family and friends and join the Artesia Arts Council Red Dirt Fun Run during the Red Dirt Black Gold Festival on Saturday, September 28th in downtown Artesia. The Western-inspired 5K run invites participants of all ages to dress in their finest cowboy and cowgirl attire. Whether you're trotting along with a stick pony or racing in a rodeo queen costume, a morning full of fun and music is guaranteed. A foam machine will be on site for pre- and post-run fun. Participants will get a free t-shirt and breakfast burrito from Lucky Duck Grill. For tickets, visit artesiaartscouncil.com or call 575-746-4212 for more information. The Red Dirt Fun Run, Saturday, September 28th, 8 to 10 a.m. in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
Fear of beards, in case you're wondering what that was. Good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, talk some Eastern New Mexico State Fair, James Duffy and Jonathan Dudley back with us. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Great. Good morning. Good to be here.
Well. Of course, when we see you guys, it's fair time. We know it's time to get ready as we are days away from the 2024 Eastern New Mexico State Fair. I know officially Monday's kind of the start day, but really it's already kind of underway. You know, they'll start bringing in the animals here in a day or two. They'll do the preview here on Friday and everything. So fair's really here. I mean, it's officially Monday, but it's here.
Yeah, if you drive down South Main in the evenings, I mean, the carnival's lit up every night, and I mean he's letting everybody know he's here.
That's right.
So.
That's kind of good advertising. It's kind of like I'm from back Maryland, a lot of soul food, and so a lot of people cook chitlins, and chitlins have a unique smell. I don't know if people know that or not, but when you cook chitlins, people you don't have to advertise you're cooking chitlins. Just start cooking them, and they'll know.
They'll come. Huh?
Kind of the same way here. The Carnivalites, they know. They're there.
Kind of like Brussels sprouts.
That's right. But you guys, we're focusing on obviously the livestock side of the fair. To be honest, the real reason we have a fair. I mean, we have the rides, we have the food, we have the entertainment, we have all the great stuff going on in the commercial building. But the real reason we have this fair is for these livestock shows and these the different home ec side of shows and things going on out at the fair. It's for the kids. This is what.
Sure enough.
And so I always want people to come out to the fair and ride the rides and eat corn dogs till you puke and do all that good stuff. But please take time to spend some time and watch a livestock show or two. You know, these kids, this is the hard work all the work these kids have been doing during the summer and in the off season, getting these ready for them. This is their Super Bowl. This is the fruits of their labors. They're going to be competing these animals. And some of them hopefully selling their animals here in the junior livestock auction at the end of the fair here. And so if you've never come to these shows, you really see the heart of our people in our county. That's you see the best of New Mexico at the livestock shows. That's where you see it. You see these kids. It impresses me every time to see these kids. And I know I say this every time on the radio when I talk about this, but it's so impressive to see these kids that are 3 foot tall, 75 pounds soaking wet, and they're handling an 800-pound animal professionally. It is so cool to see that.
Yeah, and we want the public to keep in mind that most of these the shows are during the day throughout the week when the midway and such isn't open. But it's free access. Anybody can come out.
Absolutely. And there are some evening shows,
Atkinson. Too. Yep, there's some evening shows, but most of them are
during
the day.
Yeah, so if you got time during the day to come out, and I highly recommend you come out and see these shows. It's so impressive to watch these kids in action. They're, and it doesn't matter whether they're showing rabbits, swine, horses, or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all impressive. And what I like about this too is because they do. I know with the Chavez County Fair they do a lot with pets and stuff too. So even kids that aren't necessarily in farming or ranching get a chance to experience some of this stuff too. So that's a cool side of it.
That's true, and there are a lot of those that really doesn't live on a farm and ranch that come out and participate in the fair and general home economics exhibits. But I'd also like to put a plug in for home gardeners and stuff.
Absolutely.
There is a division out there for home gardeners to bring out some of your produce and show it at the fair and get some premium and ribbon. Get a blue ribbon and put it on your wall.
Plus, it gives you excuse to go out there and see that stuff and be jealous on why your tomatoes didn't come out like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you got to hit the education building. As important as it is, you spend some time in the livestock building. You need to spend some. You could spend hours easily in the education building looking at all the different art that kids and adults there. Produce, you gotta check out the pumpkin guys. I mean, that's a tradition at the fair. If you ain't seeing big gelatinous pumpkins that look like they're mold broke or something, and they just spilled out onto the thing.
I haven't heard much about anybody's giant pumpkins this year.
Yeah, nobody's been bragging too much, but everybody, lots of times they lie about that.
I'm about to say, I think
they're big pumpkins. They kind of keep it secret for.
Light
to the
under
very
the basket,
bitter end,
They don't want to put any last-minute fertilizer on their own.
And if you don't think they're competitive, think again. These folks. I mean, it's all in good fun, but it's cutthroat.
Oh yeah, it is competitive.
Well, it's year-long bragging rights.
Absolutely, and so you got to be a part of that. And of course, the model railroaders in there, and you could easily get lost spending watching the trains go by and seeing all they're doing stuff. But that's the real fair to me. What's going on in those two buildings? That's the heart of the fair. That's where. The rides and stuff, that's the draw. We want you to come out and have a great time, but support our community. Come and see the hard work of our young people and adults.
Well, and it's not just our community. I mean, it's the state of New Mexico. We're statewide, and these kids come from all over.
And Eastern's not even a fair nomenclature either. These kids come from all over the state. It's the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, but I'd like to call it New Mexico State Fair 2.
It is. Well, really, in all actuality, for several years, we've had more entries in the livestock department in the Mexico State Fair. There's a lot of people who rather come to Roswell because it's a little bit more laid back. Everything's a little friendlier and Roswell's a better city than Albuquerque.
I certainly know exactly of which you speak without having to say it. Put it this way, your pickup's going to be there when you get back.
That's right. That's true.
Unless you park somewhere you don't need to, and then move it.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. But that's a good point. You're probably seeing bigger numbers, and by that better competition because more entries mean closer in competition. And the difference between the best in show and fourth place is minuscule. You know what I mean? It's a fraction of a score here. That's the difference.
That's true, and it's the judge that determines that, and that's different judges judge different ways.
Absolutely.
And so that's. But they're all great exhibits that we have out there, and there'll be 20-something counties that'll be represented at the Eastern Fair this year out of the 33 counties. So it'll be well represented as far as statewide, people coming here statewide.
You're going to see
Farmington, Union County, Southwest New Mexico, all those will be in here.
Well,
so
they'll be
very competitive.
This is where I have a little, because I'm not in the, where I kind of, like, they just had the state fair. And they have their junior livestock auction, for winners that sell there.
Yep.
Are there going to be folks that may have competed in that fair that didn't place that will compete here in the hopes of trying to get, will we see some of that too, or will it be all different animals?
Well, the ones that made the sale up there will not be.
Yeah, they sold and they're gone. But the ones that didn't make the sale.
The ones that didn't make the sale, there'll be a lot of those animals that'll be here, plus some other ones. But, they come get a different judge's opinion because there's a different judge. They're going to judge them a little bit different.
Absolutely.
So,
if they win Best in Show, they've got to put it in the auction. But if they don't, then they get the option of going on to another fair or whatever they're going to do with that
That's
animal. So you will see some of that. But in the scope of things, this is their last hurrah, right? There's no more fairs after this fair season. So if they're, after this one they compete, they either sell it or whatever.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Kansas City's coming up right after that. Some big major shows. Kansas City, Louisville, which Louisville is probably at the Nile is one of the biggest ones in the country. There'll be. I
imagine the monies and everything's a little bit bigger on those too.
No, not really.
Okay.
They'll only sell like 2 animals out of each species at those big major shows, and so. There's not too many of them that go there, but there are a few New Mexico people that go there.
Do they have the same customs and traditions like here? Like when you come out to the junior livestock auction here on Saturday morning. I always get Chavez County Fair's Friday, East New Mexico State Fair Saturday morning.
We just don't want to compete against the concert.
Exactly, yeah. And it's an excuse to get up early and get a good breakfast because y'all feed them well. And if you leave hungry, that's your own damn fault. I'm just saying.
And you'll be fed well again this year also.
Absolutely.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but like in our tradition at that, we support locals and less. You're going to see some crazy numbers for some of these animals at that auction. Do they do that kind of thing in Kansas too, or some of those, or is that more of a local thing that we do that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes and no. I mean, depending on which one you go to. But
I gotcha. Okay.
Eastern, this community is very supportive of junior livestock sale. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it compared to most everywhere else in the country. It's very supportive, and we appreciate all the people coming out and participating. Have you never been to a junior livestock sale? Come out and have breakfast with us on Saturday morning.
And you don't have to be, like I said, you're going to see a lot of money flying around. But if you want to support, a lot of people partner up and they each chip in, a couple, whatever, $100 or whatever it is here, and then put it in together. And that's a great way to support these kids too in doing that. So please come out and support them that way. And you're right, they support this way, because they get it. They get what we're dealing with here. This is the future we're dealing with. These are these young men and women that are showing these animals and competing in the fairs. They're the future. They're the ones. They are going to be handed the problem that farmers and ranchers are dealing with today, where we have more people on this planet and less people producing food to get it to them.
Yep.
And it's going to be even worse when they are the ones running the farmers and ranches and stuff. So whatever we can do now to give them the expertise, the knowledge, the support, the help to help them tackle the problems they're going to be dealing with, that's what this junior livestock auction is about. Mm-hmm. That's what this fair is about. I know I'm getting like big picture on people, but at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do out there.
Yeah. The main thing to me is work ethic. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at these kids, they'll be up at 5 o'clock in the morning taking care of animals, get ready to go to school, come back in the evening, do the same thing day after day, all summer long. I mean, it's like a lot of work. I mean, and so that work ethic is the thing that those that really work hard usually do the best.
And so, you know what? It rubs off in all aspects of their lives.
Oh, you bet.
That's the thing. And this is something I will tell, every time. As a radio guy, I've been doing radio for 20 plus years. I've spent a lot of time doing radio and things and interviewing a lot of kids, sports kids, FFA, 4-H kids, all of them. And I will tell you, every time I talk to those 4-H and FFA kids, it's yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir. It's very polite, very professional. They give you thoughtful answers. Like they're kids. I get it. Kids are kids. Like, hey, what do you? I like pizza. All right. I talked to one of these farmer and ranching kids that are competing at the fair, and they give thought. I mean, it's just it's so impressive that these kids they appear and conduct themselves much more maturely than a kid of their age usually.
Well,
that's what I know.
FFA and 4-H is so much more than just showing animals.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's values that are put into these young lives. And
every time I have the 4-H folks on, I always tell people, it's like you can have a great experience in 4-H and never touch a cow or a pig or a chicken.
Absolutely.
Or poop.
That's true.
So, there's now if you want that, they got you covered. Oh, farm and ranch, and they're going to get you heavy. But if you want the computers or shooting sports or the home ec side of things or a lot, or even for adults at the extension office, which I call adult 4-H, they can create your own programs and things out there socially, and it's as much a social and educational experience as it is farming and ranching and fun and dealing with cows and horses and pigs and stuff.
Yep.
It's so much more than that. But I want to invite folks, go to the fair website, easternnewmexicostatefair.com. There you can see everything, the entertainment schedule, the fair book. Now, obviously, if you're showing animals or competing in the fair, that's your gospel. That's going to tell you your rules. Going to tell you the all-important who they're going to be the judges at the various livestock shows. Because I imagine, like you were talking earlier about judges, and I imagine they're like baseball umpires. You know what I mean? They all have their tendencies, but if you know the umpire, you know how they're going to call the game. So you can plan accordingly. I imagine judges are, this judge generally looks for this, therefore I'm going to enhance that aspect.
Well, there's a lot of these young folks that are showing at this sale that will go on. I mean, I say a lot. There'll be a few of them that end up judging somewhere someday doing this if they choose to take that path. And
judges don't become judges by just dropping into the industry. They probably were showing animals and farming and ranching themselves, or probably still doing it.
or raising them, breeding them, and selling them, or something of that nature.
By day, they're not bankers and stuff. They're farmers and ranchers.
Well, and that's one thing about a lot of these kids that's in this program. They're pretty heavily recruited from junior colleges and senior colleges to judge.
So it's kind of like sports
judge the livestock to judge the livestock.
Okay.
We have several kids that been very successful on judging teams.
So that's a career path for some of these folks.
Oh, yeah.
I never would have thought of that, but
well, it's just
makes
they
sense.
have scholarships available for them to go and judge them. And there's soils judging, there's livestock judging, horse judging, meats, wool, all of that on the collegiate level.
Yeah.
And some of those kids get pretty nice scholarships to go do that.
I would imagine there's an intense amount of understanding and training to learn all of that. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to do it, but to judge it. You know what I mean? Because you got to. I mean, not only you got to know how to do it, but you got to know all the concepts behind it. You got to. You know what I mean? You got to. Yeah, it's like a musician. Sure, anybody can get on a computer nowadays and make a song, but real musicians got to understand how the music's made, how the notes go together, and all that. And a judge, you got to know that too a little bit. That makes sense.
It does. It does.
But please get your fair book. Get that way you can know the schedule. The junior livestock auction is kind of the big climax of the fair weekend for the livestock show side of things. And so Saturday morning we want to get out there and even come watch it if nothing else. It is just an amazing thing to see.
And not just that, but you don't have to be a buyer. I mean, we have add-ons if there's a young child or student that from whether it be church or family or soccer, sports, whatever. I mean, all these kids are ingrained in our community in so many different ways.
Yeah,
you can do a $5 add-on, a $10. They all add up. I mean,
the animals are going to be nice because they're all winners. Don't get me wrong, but the auction is about the kid. It's not about the animal.
This is what it funds their future projects and/or college. I mean, there's a lot of seniors that'll be here. I mean, their next step is headed off to college.
That's the thing for your seniors. This is college seed money. Or college money for that. And for your younger, that's the seed for their next project, their next whatever they're going to be doing at next year's fair.
Yep.
Whether it's we're going to do goats again, or no, we're gonna up it to something a little heavier. Whatever they're going to do. And so and obviously that probably comes into play in their own farm and ranch and what they show and what they do and what they are experienced in and stuff like that. So, but please come whether you're an experienced rancher and farmer or your experience on meat is with picking the right steak at the grocery store, whatever that is, please make time to go to the livestock shows. Come during the day. If there's an evening, some do get into the evening. Some of them bigger shows. Others, like swine, generally is going to be there's a lot of usually animals in the swine show. Where some shows they don't quite have as many. When you get into the lambs and some those get into such categories that one show may only have a couple animals. But you say lamb show and you're like, okay, but wait. There's like 60 different types of lamb. Hold on a second. And so it does break down into that. So the shows go a little bit quicker on some of that stuff.
And if there's any community involvement that is unable to make it Saturday, they can always reach out to the fair office. Leslie will get them in touch with one of us in the sale committee or the junior livestock department. We can visit with them to see how we could help them if they want to contribute in some form or fashion.
Again, it's about the kids.
Can't make it. Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to help, we'll find a way to make
We'll
that
find
happen.
a way to make it happen.
Yeah, whether we got to do something. Yeah, because I imagine, do you get like people on the phone, kind of like when you see like auctions on,
On
horse
occasion.
auctions or whatever, there'll be the buyers on the phone and all that kind of stuff. So,
On occasion.
yeah. So that's it, but it's a lot of fun. Trust me. And I'm not. And if you've never been to one, you're gonna be like blown away because you're like, I can't believe how much money these are going for and all because and once you get it because it's all about these kids. You're seeing these moments where these kids are having their Super Bowl moment, and then they get this large amount of money for an animal that they probably weren't expecting. And I'm not gonna lie. There's always 1 year there's a kid that maybe had a little harder struggle getting through it, or a family that had a struggle, and everyone wants to rally around them, and sometimes we'll boost those dollars to help that family a little bit, and that's what makes this great because it's about family, it's about people, and yes, the animals are part of the background here, but at the end of the day, it's the families, it's these kids.
Well, and there's a lot of times where yes, you'll see these animals sell for a large amount of money, but in a lot of cases, they may just be getting close to breaking even. I mean, it's
that's
spend on these animals, and the buyers.
It's not cheap to raise an animal.
No, it's not. I mean, they're not fed with just your general.
Right,
feed.
the feed you feed the crop. You got to get them
to get these animals in the fit and form that they are. I mean, they're taken care of in a different manner.
NFL athletes go through a different regime than you and I go through. Mm-hmm. That's the comparison. These animals are being prepared like they're athletes, and they're going through training and diet and regime like they're an NFL athlete. Where you and I go to McDonald's and maybe see a gym once in a while.
on the way to McDonald's.
Right. That's the difference. And to be honest, the rest of the herd, not that you're feeding McDonald's, but what I mean is you're buying hundreds of pounds of feed at the time, and it's general, like it's like, okay, we got to feed the herd meatloaf, but these guys get the enhanced meatloaf because this, you know what I'm saying? It's a little, it's the same, it's quality food, but theirs has been hyped up a little bit. And you, quite frankly, you couldn't run a farm and ranch feeding your entire crop or entire cache of animals that feed. You'd be really broke really quick.
Well, you're buying a 50-pound bag to feed the show animals, and you're buying semi-trailer
but your steak would
loads.
look real good.
It's true.
But that's and that's where you understand the industry, and that's where I'm I mean, I grew up in D.C. I've been here for a long time, but I wasn't raised on a farm and ranch. My experience is through osmosis, hanging out the fair, watching, seeing what farmers and ranchers do, and interviewing and talking with them, and I understand the concepts, but I haven't done the day-to-day. And until you do the day-to-day, it's to me, it's a beautiful thing, and that's what we gotta, we could talk science and we could talk future, and all of that's gonna come into play in farming and ranch. It has to get that right. But I'm sorry, this is the industry where we're tried, true, tested, things that your family, your ancestors tried. That's the stuff you're doing on farm and ranches because it's been working for 100 years. And you're like, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here if that works. And that's where the fair, I think, enhances that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can have the new, and there is a place for some of that. But sometimes when you got a certain weed or certain something come there, and then you're like, then you get the Jim Gill here. Well, go get you one of them. And that to me is farming and ranching. You know what I mean? And that's what the fair's about, and that's what the livestock shows and everything that's going on is about. So come participate the real fabric of what Chavez County and New Mexico is.
Yeah, take a walk through the barns when folks are getting these animals ready to be shown or sold.
Yeah,
it is
really cool
to watch.
And if you do get a chance, like during the day and stuff, or in the prep areas, the staging areas where the kids are cleaning and tending to their animals, they love talking. You go through, talk to the kids, talk to the families, but they love sharing their stories and telling you. You're going to get some good ones. Yep. You're going to hear all kinds of great stories from some of these families, and so and I think if you do that, you'll even get a great appreciation of what the fair is all about by doing that. So take some time to do it. By all means, get out there and ride the merry-go-round 500 times and get on that Ferris wheel, and please help out 4-H. buy as many ice cream cones as humanly possible. But go out there and spend some time with in the hay with the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're gonna realize how cool the fair actually is. You're gonna you come and you get tired of doing all the rides and all that, but once you see the other side, the side that's the family side, then you're like, wow, this is, now I get it. Now I get why fair is so cool. And so
yeah,
come next week. Even if it's only one day, make a point to go see a livestock show at some point during the fair if you've never been to one. See many, but if you only got time for one, then do one. Please do it. I guarantee once you see and understand, it will change your opinion on how cool the fair is and what the how important the fair is. It's something I just wanted, because this is really it. If fairs go away, I mean, I think the food and ranch industry is in trouble. This is the one spotlight we have to remind people your food doesn't come from Walmart or a grocery store or whatever. You know what I mean? And so it's that important. But anyway, I got way on a soapbox.
We get on them every once in a while too. So.
Point is, come out to the fair. It's all next week. Like we said, the parade will get officially underway with the fair at 10 a.m. on Monday. As we reminded, just some other general fair stuff here. For the parade, the judges are going to be amongst the crowd this year. They're not going to be all set up in front of the courthouse lawn. So if you're performing or have in the parade, do your performances wherever you want to. There's going to be judges
You're always
everywhere.
being watched.
You're always being watched. And then, of course, as soon as the parade is over, the fairgrounds officially open up for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Livestock shows are already underway because I think the first shows actually start on
8 a.m. Monday.
Monday, okay. Yeah. Is there a Saturday show?
No, Saturday's just so all the shows will be Monday through through Thursday.
Okay.
Some sprinkled throughout the day, and then in the evening.
For some reason, in my head, I was thinking there was one early this weekend for some reason, but I don't know. I slept since then. So, but yeah, they'll start bright and early Monday, and they'll go all week through Friday, and then Saturday, of course, will be the big crescendo here, the Junior Livestock Show. What time? The buyer's breakfast starts about 6?
8 a.m.
Okay.
8. Sale at
Y'all
9.
sleeping in. and then he's like, screw you. We're going to be up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, come in at 8 o'clock for the buyer's breakfast, and then about 9 o'clock we'll get underway with the auction and off and all that good stuff here.
Yep.
So, right. And get there early. Come get there for the breakfast, because you're going to get up early. You gotta, it's farmers. Farmers eat, and they eat well.
Well, there's going to be a little special meal this time. We've got some local producers and folks in the ag community and some other friends that are going to come out and cook breakfast.
Nice. So this is straight farm to table
Straight,
type.
that's true. And Leslie Eccles will be supporting the Junior Livestock Breakfast this year, and so on Saturday morning. So
big thank you to them.
Big plug for them as
Absolutely.
far as stepping up plate and
that, again, that's another aspect of why I love the fair so much, because this is when you get these families, and we get these great families and businesses that support no matter what. Yeah, we're going to support the breakfast.
There's so many people that come together to make this deal work. So many volunteers.
And the great thing is, they come to you. I mean, yes, you guys do ask and beat the bushes, but people come forth. Hey, how can I help? How can I get involved? And that's what makes this special.
Yeah,
it is a great thing. So please come participate in your way, shape, or form. Whether you're showing or getting out there and competing, or you just want to come and be a spectator and watch some of these, see the fruits of these kids' hard work here and do all that. Either way, it's going to be a good time. And then when you're done that, go ride a ride and go check out the ranch rodeo and all that. And don't sleep on those Friday and Saturday. The ranch rodeo is going to be a lot of fun, and that's all part of your mission into the fair too.
It is.
So when you're done riding rides and stuff, walk on over to the Bob Crosby Arena and go check out. The Friday night will be kind of everyone trying to get into the finals on Saturday, and then Saturday will be the big night for the finals, and the big money will get passed out that night and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But get on out there and support that too. Matter of fact, you probably see some folks that were showing animals earlier might be doing some work in the ranch rodeo later in the week. You never know. But and that in and of itself is pretty cool too, because then again, all those competitors for the most part are farmers and ranchers, You know, a ranch rodeo is a little different than like your bull riding rodeos or something. This is a rodeo that shows the day-to-day of what farm and ranch life. They compete in categories like wild cow milking and trailer loading and things like that. It's amazing to watch if you've never seen it.
No, it's a lot of fun to watch.
But it's categories that are a little different than see how long you can stay on a bull or on a horse.
And they will have some wrecks doing that.
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too. It's-
if you're looking for if you love that side of it, you'll have your share. Don't worry. Some people will go flying.
That is true.
But it is a lot of fun to watch, and again, those people you'll see them Friday or Saturday night doing that, and on a Tuesday they're on a farm and ranch somewhere doing the same thing. Not being timed for it, of course, but doing it nonetheless. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Is there anything we wanted to share that I just spaced on or didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I think you covered almost everything.
And then
as far as but no, we do encourage everyone to come out. Really,
have fun.
You don't have to spend money to come out and watch those shows.
No,
because most of them are free when you come out there early enough. So come out and watch. If you have questions, there's plenty of people out there that'll answer your questions.
Absolutely,
for you.
yeah.
All you got to do is ask, and you'll be probably get well informed.
Absolutely. I also want to do the quick safety thing real quick. Every time I talk with fair folks, I want to remind folks that the Eastern Mexico State Fair has a great protocol and procedures whenever there's lost children or a lost child on. And I guarantee it's going to happen every fair. There's at least one time where we gotta go into protocols for do that. But what happens is they generally shut down the fair. No one goes in, goes out, and they do drop what they're doing and they do a search for a lost child. It's going to happen every time at a fair. It just does. But a couple things that you can be proactive on to help either prevent this or if it does happen, speed up that process. We all got smartphones now. We all carry these in some way, shape, or form. Take a picture of your kid or kids right before you go into the fair, wearing the clothes they're wearing right now, whether they're wearing their Iron Man t-shirts or whatever they're wearing. Take a picture of them as they are at the fair, and then have that on your phone. Hopefully you don't need it. You can throw it up on Facebook later and say, here's my kid at the fair. But if your child gets lost, that way you can show authorities, this is my child, this is what they're wearing, and that speeds up the process. I always also say pro tip, is you go as a family and you do get separated, pick a landmark, whatever it is, a merry-go-round, the livestock show ring, the 4-H ice cream building, whatever it is. As a family, say, if we get separated, let's all agree to meet here, and then execute that, and that'll avoid it. And that just a couple tips I like to hand people to go to the fair because it's easy to do. You get in the commercial building on a day when it's really busy, and one buddy stops looking at one booth, and the kids keeps going, and next thing you know, where's Johnny? Where's Sue? And it happens very easily. So if it does, that's a couple things that'll help speed that up and make that process a little easier. But rest assured, the fair staff is, of course, they've been doing this for years. They're very good at it now. They've got it down to a science that they can, and 9 times out of 10, lost children are found within 5-10 minutes of it being reported. True. So it's very good. But if you do that, that does help a little bit. If you have a picture of your child wearing what they're wearing, they're at the fair, that makes it so much easier for folks to look for, because now that instead of looking for a little 3-footer, they can look for a 3-footer in a green shirt or blue. It makes it a little bit easier. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much. I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out.
Appreciate you letting
get
us
on here,
get on the platform and advertise what we're doing.
Anytime. This is good stuff. This is what makes our community great, is this fair and what it is, and it showcases the best of what New Mexico has, and you're going to see it on display next week. So come see it for yourself. So,
thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right, 8:52. Let's pause for some news and a red market report and a couple commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Members of the Artesia Senior Center are credited with bringing home 74 ribbons at the Eddy County Fair. Molly Simmons had 14 entries. She won 12 blue and 2 red ribbons for her ceramic bunny, a fused glass Christmas ornament, and various needlework entries. Gail Walls also had 7 entries. She won 6 blue ribbons for her homemade jewelry and fused glass Christmas wind chime and floral decorations. And Mary West had 33 entries, winning 20 blue ribbons, 8 red and 3 white ribbons for her crochet work, painting artwork, and floral decorations. New Mexicans can fish for free during the state's free fishing weekend this Saturday and Sunday. Fishing will be free in public fishing waters throughout the weekend. The free fishing weekend coincides with National Hunting and Fishing Day, which is September 28th. A great time to take your family fishing and teach them a skill that provides a lifetime of enjoyment, according to Director of New Mexico Department of Game and Fish, Mike Sloan. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. District opener for the NMMI boys soccer team yesterday, and they wallop Socorro on the road by a score of 8-2, led 5-0 at halftime. NMMI hosts Hatch Valley this Saturday at 5. Roswell, meanwhile, in boys soccer, beats Lovington on the road 3-2, and they'll host Portales this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Volleyball action, Goddard defeats Clovis 3-2. Clovis won the first set, but Goddard won the last two, 25-7 and 15-6. It was Roswell losing in girls soccer to Artesia 2-1, and yesterday Goddard wallops Chaparral in girls soccer 10-0. That was at Chaparral to move to 7-5-1 on the season. Goddard plays Santa Teresa Thursday at 4. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that'll be hanging around for a while. Upper 80s on the afternoon high today, and we get sunshine. The wind should stay light. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. Our low in the upper 50s, a little bit warmer on Thursday, 90 to 95 on the high, and sunny. Right around the 90-degree mark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will stay sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished higher on Tuesday. AI darling chipmaker NVIDIA gained for the session, helping to boost sentiment on Wall Street as sluggish consumer confidence. That was a drag on sentiment. The Consumer Confidence Index declined in September, its largest single-month decline in over 3 years. Also in yesterday's economic data, the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index shows home prices reached a new high in July. Today on the economic calendar, look for August's new home sales. A former cryptocurrency executive connected to FTX will spend 2 years in prison. Caroline Ellison ran a hedge fund connected to FTX and was the star witness in the prosecution of FTX founder and her ex-boyfriend, Sam Bankman-Fried. Ellison will be ordered to forfeit $11 billion. Company-specific news, the last full-size Kmart store in the country is closing its doors out in Bridgehampton, New York. And the Department of Justice is suing Visa over alleged antitrust violations. Visa accused by the DOJ of monopolizing debit markets. And Coca-Cola will discontinue its new spiced Coke flavor just 6 months after its release. That's the Market Report. I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Greg Kelly here with an urgent warning. Washington is coming for your savings to pay for their spending mistakes. That's why thousands of Americans like me are shielding their savings with gold. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything you need to know, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kelly. colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186. 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide and learn if you qualify for up to $7,500 in free silver now.
The Fall Into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month. And test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles. And don't forget to sign up to win one of two 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall Into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. They salute the hardworking 4-H and FFA kids for striving to be the best every day. As farmers and ranchers themselves, the crew at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply know the hard work that goes into making farming and agriculture what it is today. And from Everyone's a Winner program to actually investing in these future farmers and ranchers during the Junior Livestock Sale, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is proud to support the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Stop by today, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Got a minute here before we get town hall news and all that on the radio. Stay tuned next hour. About 9:15 or so, we're going to have the folks from American Legion Post 61 join us. I believe it'll be Commander Lee and Auxiliary President Jen join us, and we'll talk about a couple things. They will, our Legion Post will be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. We do have a gun drawing, which we've been selling tickets for. We'll be doing the drawing for that at the end of the fair. Also, I imagine we'll talk Veterans Day Parade. That is actually, I know we're technically in the end of September, but Veterans Day is just about a month away, really, a little over a month away. So planning and for the parade and all that's undergoing now. So we'll probably get an update on that too as well from them. So, but I know they had a Veterans Day planning meeting last night discussing getting ready for Veterans Day and all that stuff. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that as well next hour too. Don't forget, if you ever miss any part of our show or really any of our shows, or don't forget next week when the fair's going on, we will be streaming live and on demand the livestock shows at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, just like we do this morning show here. If you miss any interviews, you can always go back and catch them at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. You will find an Eastern New Mexico State Fair channel that'll go up there, and that'll have all of our livestock shows as they happen live and then available on demand afterwards. That'll be up there starting, obviously, next week here when the fair gets underway. All right, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Florida and Georgia getting ready for the arrival of what could be a powerful hurricane.
Helene is currently a tropical storm, but it's rapidly gaining strength. Senior hurricane specialist Jack Bevan of the National Hurricane Center.
The official forecast has Helene strengthening to a Category 3 hurricane before it reaches landfall along the northeastern Gulf Coast. Possibility might be stronger.
Bevan says Helene is expected to reach Florida's Gulf Coast on Thursday.
Everybody who is in the path of Helene, particularly in the northeast Gulf Coast, should be making their preparations right now, because the time to make them will be running out today.
I'm Donna Warder.
The sound of sirens pierced the air in Tel Aviv, warning of an incoming rocket fired by Hezbollah in Lebanon.
The Israeli military says it intercepted the projectile, which set off air raid sirens in the city and across central Israel, and there are no reports of casualties or damage. The military says it struck the site from which the projectile was launched. Hezbollah says it was aiming at Israel's Mossad intelligence agency, which it blames for the targeted killings of its commanders and for wider attacks. I'm Charles Duladesma.
Busy day on the presidential campaign trail. Kamala Harris in Pittsburgh today. Republican Donald Trump rallying in North Carolina. Portage County, Ohio Sheriff Bruce Zukowski has removed a controversial social media post, said that people with Harris yard signs ought to have their addresses recorded so migrants could be sent to live with them. A passenger was killed after a gunman hijacked a city bus in Los Angeles early today, leading police on a slow-speed chase through downtown before the suspect was eventually arrested. Wall Street, the Dow down 148 points, while the Nasdaq is up 55 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A medical charity warns of a severe health crisis in the Sudanese region of South Darfur.
The organization says pregnant women, mothers and newborns are dying from preventable health issues as the region's health system has collapsed. MSF is urging warring parties to stop the violence, especially against women and children, and to allow life-saving aid to reach displaced people. The report also calls on the United Nations to take immediate action to prevent further loss of life. This follows local media reports of Sudanese army airstrikes on an airport in South Darfur on Tuesday. The strikes allegedly targeted a cargo plane delivering supplies to the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, who has been fighting the Sudanese army since April last year.
The BBC's Ian Wafula. Iran state television says a death toll from an explosion at a coal mine in eastern Iran rose to 50 after one of the miners injured in the weekend blast died in a hospital. Methane gas leak sparked the explosion. Townhall.com. Some U.S. lawmakers are steaming over apparent inconsistency in the price of popular weight loss drugs.
The CEO of Novo Nordisk is in hot water over the rising cost of the company's popular weight loss drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy. Tuesday, senators questioned Lars Jorgensen and demanded answers as to why the U.S. faces a higher price for those drugs than other countries. Novo Nordisk charges $969 per month for Ozempic in the U.S., compared to $155 a month in Canada and just $59 a month in Germany. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Multiple Secret Service failures ahead of the July rally for former President Trump, where a gunman opened fire, were foreseeable, preventable, and directly related to the events resulting in the assassination attempt that day. That, according to a newly released bipartisan Senate investigation. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a note. Lee is on his way. Just got a note. There's official. So. Happy Wednesday. Hope your Wednesday's going well. Fair week is days away. Big football Friday night again.
Yep. Week 6.
No.
Can you believe that?
Yep.
We just started the season and we're in week 6.
That's right. And because of the district alignment, they've been in district play for a couple weeks already. You know, now that's different too, because normally, you know, before when there was only 2 or 3 other teams in the district, that, you know, they didn't start district play till like week 7.
Yeah.
Now it's, you know, week 3 they're starting district play now because the division's a lot bigger.
Things got a little thick.
Yeah, so. But anyway, so every game's that much more important now because they're playing more district games. So,
yes, sir.
Big games Friday night. We'll have them for you right here on the radio and video, of course. So, something else I was going to mention. Don't forget, with the fair next week, we will be live streaming the livestock shows on demand and live. So tell your out-of-town friends and family that they can watch their family members on our website, ksvptv.com.
Yep.
Click on the Eastern New Mexico State Fair channel. And then, obviously, if you want to catch it live, you got to be there at the time of which the show is going to be on.
Right.
But if you miss it, we'll have it up on demand so you can watch it when you get home that night or whenever.
I always like telling people to watch the Goat Show. It's really all about the kids.
Is it GOAT? The greatest of all time
Greatest
show?
of all time show. It's all about them kids.
By the way,
Yes.
that's when they say Tom Brady's the GOAT. They're not referring to the animal, just in case you didn't know that.
Thanks for clearing that up.
There's one person out there who said, oh, yeah, I always wondered about that. Well, you're welcome.
But yes, KSVPTV.com will have full coverage of the fair, all the shows. You can also follow along with the football games. We'll have those up at KSVPTV.com as well. We got you covered from all angles.
Absolutely.
That's right, coming at you from every side.
Never mind. I was gonna do an underside reference, but nah, forget it.
Also, don't forget if you're aching for a little country music, this Saturday night we got Red Dirt Black Gold.
Oh yeah, I forget. Again,
Going
more
down.
bigness happening. That's a huge concert evening in Artesia on Saturday too.
Headlined by Pat Green, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a good show.
Proud to be an American.
We'll be coming upon you wave on wave.
I'm sorry.
Not
I
Lee
know that's a
Greenwood.
patriotic song, and people love Pat Green. And
No, you're thinking of Lee Greenwood.
Lee Greenwood. I'm sorry, but okay. I'm going to keep on Lee Greenwood.
Sure. Go ahead.
I cannot hear that song anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
I get it. It's a Patriot song, Lee Greenwood. It's a great song. I just heard it one too many times, and you know what did it for me? I will tell you what did it for me. I think I may have told you this, but I was in Italy.
Okay.
And they did a USO show,
Sure.
type show for us in Italy. And Lee Greenwood performed. And, of course, he did Proud to be American.
Well, does he have any other songs?
I think so. At least a concert's worth. But
those are all covers.
But right, he does. But I guess it just hit me, and I know this sounds way insensitive, and I sound like a complete, just unemotional jackwad. But I saw grown people crying and acting like fools to that and screaming that song, and people that I know aren't. You know what I mean? Like I've seen them do things and say things that do not jive with what I'm seeing right now.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I guess I'm an emotional scumbag. I'm just like, you people are crying like a bunch of children over here over this song. And quite frankly, it's not even that great of a song.
It's not okay. It's not necessarily the song. It's the fact that it's evocative. It's what the song evokes.
I get it. I
know that you get it. I'm just that's what
it
doesn't hit you the same way it hits. It hits some of your
cheesy to
compatriots.
It doesn't seem patriotic. It seems like
it's pandery. It's a very pandery.
It seems pandery to me.
Now, bear in mind, I'm a country radio DJ. Now, I know from pandering.
Yeah.
That's like half of what I do for a living. But I mean, not me, but the music.
Yeah.
But so I understand. But it's one of those songs, and it's funny too because today is National One Hit Wonder Day, and I'm wondering, is there a single song out there that is more indicative of a one hit wonder than Lee Greenwood's "Proud to be an American"? Because like I said, I don't think I've ever heard another Lee Greenwood song.
No.
Ever.
But I could think of equally big one-hit wonders.
Sure, Charlie Daniels, case in point, Devil Went Down to Georgia. You can't really think of any other Charlie Daniels songs. Rick Astley, I guess. Never Gonna Give You Up. That's pretty much a one-hit wonder.
Well, I would argue people disagree with me, but because I think they technically had one other hit, but the worst one hit is UB40.
Oh, they're no one-hit wonders.
In my head, they are.
Sir, how dare you?
They are garbage. They're
How
hot garbage.
dare you?
UB40. There are. I think people should be in jail because they gave UB40 a recording contract.
You make my life so sweet. Oh, you should have been some honey.
That is a travesty of humankind.
Love UB40.
Oh, they're god awful.
No, you want to know an awful one-hit wonder? Rebecca Black.
What's that? What's the song?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
I am too old to know what that is. Thank God.
And I used to play. I used to torture my audience every Friday playing that song as the opener. That was the opening song every Friday on my morning show.
Put it this way: if I ended up as a juror on a court case, all right, and a person is being accused of murder, and they murdered someone because red wine came on and that caused him, I'm acquitting that person. That's all I'm saying. I understand.
They're not.
That's how much I hate that song and how much I hate everything about it.
I would say UB40 is like a 3-hit wonder. Because I can think of a few that hit.
They are hot garbage.
And
I judge.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. So is liking Hitler.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I equate it with.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
UB40 is a travesty to humankind.
UB40 is the key lime pie of the band world.
If you put their song in that little satellite to tell the aliens about us, they're going to blow us up real quick.
Oh, you're not a fan? Come on. It's so catchy. I think that's the thing is that Mike's Closet, like a huge red wine fan.
Oh gosh, no.
He can't let it show.
That is the one song in my human life that I've had that has evoked a hatred of which I cannot explain. Like there's songs I hate, but I really want to punch people when I hear that song. I'm just like, this song is a travesty that it got made. That's what I feel about it.
It's just
I hate that song. Hate it. Oh. Yes. That is.
I feel like it needs to play while we're talking.
I want to punch him in the face singing. Like nothing about. Like I hear that voice. I'm like,
makes me forget that
that's a voice of the man who needs a fist to his nose. That's what that is.
Need you so. I'll let it fade out.
It's god awful.
You're allowed to just not like something, you know.
I don't. Well, I mean, I don't like a lot of things, but that I don't get. To me, I'm like, who thinks this is good?
It's not for you.
It's not for anybody.
You didn't.
It's whiny dudes.
Okay. To me, when I hear UB40, it reminds me of a different time. It reminds me of summertime, going to the pool in Medill when I was a kid. That was on the radio. So it's sort of, it's like I said earlier, it's evocative of a better time. So I sort of associate it with that.
I think it's the downfall of manhood. UB40 made men less manly.
Let me ask you, when was the first time you heard the song? Do you remember?
It was on MTV back when it was popular. I don't remember when.
So you don't but you didn't have anything to associate with it. Like if you'd have had,
I could tell what sucks and what doesn't. What makes me want to punch the wall.
If you'd have had like a honey on your arm, chowing down on a steak bagel, and red wine came on, that wouldn't like.
I'm chucking the bagel at the radio and turning that thing off.
How did he even get on this station?
And the sad part was you could actually roll the station, like back in that day, you could roll the dial and you might hit red wine 3 or 4 times across the dial. You were not safe.
Yeah. I think the one for my generation of that song was the Macarena. The song was everywhere.
Put it this way. If I get sent down below, it would be doing me a favor to put Mariah Carey on loop in that room for me in hell versus UB40.
Wow.
That Christmas song that Mariah Carey sings, that would be a godsend compared to putting a UB40 on loop in that room for me.
I love the memes that they're showing people are thawing out the ice cube that's holding Mariah Carey now. It's like, it's almost time.
Yeah. Yeah. If I, now I just said it, like, God forbid. Hope I don't go there. But if I do, I'm pretty sure I'm in the room with UB40 on the
So
loop
now
all
you
the
know,
time.
Mike, all Mike wants for any of his Christmases, birthdays, UB40's greatest hits. It's a very short album. It's only 3 songs.
Well, if you want to contribute to filling our landfill that much quicker, you give me UB40 stuff.
Mike might actually take up skeet shooting as a hobby.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. They blow up real good.
The dishes are done, man.
All right, guests are here. I can stop complaining about UB40 now. It is 9:17. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure is parked over the southwestern states, and that'll be hanging around for a while. Upper 80s on the afternoon high today, and we get sunshine. The wind should stay light. It'll be clear for the overnight hours. Our low in the upper 50s, a little bit warmer on Thursday, 90 to 95 on the high and sunny. Right around the 90-degree mark on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will stay sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me bring up my weather. I got busy. I'm still ranting. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 58%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. 88. Nice today. Sunny and 88. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, sunny, 92 for a high. South winds 5 to 10. Friday, sunny and 93 for a high. North winds 5 to 10. For the weekend, sunny on Saturday, high of 91. Sunny and 89 on Sunday, and day one of the Eastern Mexico State Fair, sunny and 91, 86 on Tuesday. Maybe that's starting a trend. I hope so. All right, 9:19. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we'll talk American Legion Post 61 biz. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
What? My trade's got to be worth more than this. Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas. Don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford Credit. Offers not combined.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
The perfect pair of glasses is a lot closer than you think. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs is now accepting new patients 5 and up. The Eyesight accepts all VSP vision plans for full contact lens and glasses, as well as Medicare, Davis, and more. Designer frames from Maui Gyms, Oakley, and so much more. The Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Hobbs offers complete eye care, including pre- and post-cataract and LASIK, as well as glaucoma testing. The perfect pair is waiting for you at the Eyesight in Roswell, Carlsbad, or Hobbs. Clearly the best in sight.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeastern New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answer to your problems. With brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, High Pro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of various sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd, celebrating being family-owned and operated for 50 years. It's almost time for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair in Roswell. H.F. Sinclair invites you to attend the fair for all the fun and excitement it brings. From the concerts and shows to the livestock shows and 4-H sale to the food and model trains. The Pecos Valley Model Railroad giant HO scale train layout has been in operation at the fair since 1983. The train layout is inside the exhibit building in the fair, and trains are operating every day. H.F. Sinclair is a proud supporter of the Pecos Valley Model Railroad and hopes to see you at this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from American Legion Post 61 family here. Of course, we have Commander Lee, Auxiliary President Jen, and Vice President. You got several titles. Don Weld, also
First Vice.
First Vice. He's got several titles.
I get to enjoy all the vices.
You can call him an adjutant, one circle. A couple things you can call him.
Just depends on which hat he's wearing that day.
Exactly. So, but good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Mike.
Of course, it is kind of a busy time of year. We got, of course, fairs next week.
Yep.
American Legion Post 61 family will be represented at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair next week.
And I just got word the 28th got a booth, too.
Oh, excellent. So they're going to have a booth out there, too.
And
so visit
VFW.
VFW will be out there, too?
12184.
Sweet.
They're going to do a drawing for an AR-15.
Okay. So
we're drawing for the 9/11 and the 38 all in one drawing.
Yep.
But
I've still got tickets if y'all want some.
I've sold
some, but I got more to sell.
Okay. I don't know what the price point is going to be on the ARs. They hadn't decided as of yesterday.
I guess when you get to the fair and you get to their booth,
I guess we'll know then.
You'll know then. But like you said, we're giving away our 2 firearms here. We will do the drawing for that at the end of the fair.
Last day.
At the last day of the fair here. So you can get tickets as long as we've got them through then. The idea is to not have any tickets left by the time we get to.
We're only selling, I think it's 428 is the number.
Okay.
So, and a good majority of those are gone now.
Well, so this might be a very highly coveted stack that I've got.
Could be.
I've only sold about 7 out of here. So.
Well, the VFW informs me that the winning ticket was already sold and it was in the VFW stack, but that remains to be seen.
Well, everyone already says the winning ticket's already been sold.
Right. I know.
But it may have, it may not. We do not know. We will know on the
I doubt
last
it,
day
seriously. I really think that.
Yeah, because I haven't bought mine
I haven't
yet.
bought a ticket yet.
Yeah.
So.
Me too. I haven't bought mine yet.
I do. I have. My wife has them. I bought 2.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. And you gave
I bought
it
it
to
from
your
you.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you do that?
Because my wife has a purse and she keeps things. And,
and there's a member of the other post, I will not name him, who was at the meeting last night, and his wife explicitly told him not to buy any tickets, so he bought one last night.
Good man.
He knows what he's talking about.
Tip of the cap to you.
Yeah, I don't want to out him, so you know.
But yes, we appreciate it. But yes, we will be out at the fair. So if you want, of course, obviously we'll be out there if you want more information about Legion. We'll be happy to talk to you about that stuff. But
we can talk your ear off about that if you
but
want.
we will have, and usually we have other things like our auxiliary will probably have some things that you can purchase at our booth.
Yeah.
And of course our tickets for the gun draw.
I'm hoping the auxiliary will have a couple of baskets. We've got some stuff that Commander Jim donated.
Yep.
So we'll probably have those going.
Is he a Navy captain or an Army captain?
I think he was Marines.
Okay. So a Marine captain's higher than
a Marine.
So that's a high captain.
Former
That's like
Marine.
a colonel. It's like a colonel captain. Like Navy
only in the Navy.
Yeah, the Navy captains
because the Navy's
are
weird.
lieutenants, or Navy captains are colonels. Commanders are like majors, right? In the Navy,
Lieutenant commander.
Lieutenant commander is like a mate. I wasn't in the Navy.
That was a colonel.
And I don't even get into their enlisted officer.
Lieutenant
ranks.
commander is actually commander is a light colonel.
Like Top Gun is my knowledge of Navy ranks. I mean, that's really, I know lieutenants are like a captain in the Air Force.
JG, lieutenant.
Yeah.
Then
your butter bars are your
lieutenant
JGs.
commander.
You know you're going to get a call on this.
Probably.
Somebody's
used
gonna
to be
call you.
commander.
I am an Air Force guy.
Used to be commander
I didn't have to know the
or
Navy
Commodore,
changed.
but they changed to captain, and then they used to be Commodore, but they got rid of that in 83. So now it's
How do you know all these things? You were Air Force
Admiral, lower half, Admiral, upper half, and then full Admiral.
Yeah,
there's
Fleet
somebody
Admiral.
telling me about it.
And to be honest, there was probably a time in my life where I knew it. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, wait a minute, lieutenant.
I don't
captain,
have any
captain.
problem with the officer ranks. Never
Now,
have.
Navy enlisted,
But
I
I
could not
have
help you.
trouble with the damn enlistment.
Yeah, when they get in the Navy, I'm like, what petty officer? What class? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
As a Marine, I was
Bozeman's
supposed to know all of that stuff related to the Navy.
Yeah.
That was 2 centuries ago. So.
Yeah, like Bozeman's mate and
Air Force was
all that
you know,
stuff. Yeah,
1 stripe airman, 2 stripe airman, A1C, 3 stripe senior airman, 4
and
stripe
that's
staff
changed,
sergeant.
and that's changed too. So.
Well, see, I as I got in, that's when the buck sergeant was getting phased out. So,
yeah, I was one of the last bucks.
Yeah, they were phasing them out. I
think
I didn't have
the
that
last
opportunity.
buck was 94.
So yeah, and when after I did my 4, I was a senior airman when I got out. So
you were only a senior airman when you left. I thought
after
you were
4
a buck.
years.
You
There wasn't a buck. There was no such thing as buck. Buck was senior airman at that point.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
I thought you made buck, but no.
No, I would.
Okay.
If I would have reenlisted, then I probably would have got staff. But I tested
I
for
already
staff.
had a line number for staff.
I
but
tested
was
for
getting
staff,
out,
but I got
so they
out before. Yeah, I tested for staff, but I got out before I could. Which I probably wouldn't have gotten it because first time making staff is very hard unless you've got a ton of medals and things to do that.
Or you had a job like I had.
Yeah. Well, I was a maintainer. They don't give us medals. They just say go move the rocks.
Yeah.
or
Well,
move the
I
bombs.
guess they figured that since they don't give us medals or accommodations or anything, they give us rank instead.
At our base, if you wanted to get medals, you had to work in finance.
Finance? Really?
You had to work in the chow hall. You know, the flight line jobs we were just jobbers. They just left
Do your
us.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the people that actually wore blues for a living, they got all the awards.
Oh.
I wore my blues 3 times in the military.
Okay. So you got to be comfy for longer.
I have a set of blues.
Yeah.
In fact, I have 2 sets of blues, and I still have them. One's got buck sergeant on them. The other one still has A1C on it because I never wore the blues. I always wore the camo.
You only updated the one you needed.
Well, no, I had several of the camos because that was when I would had ground pounder duty. But when my normal outfit was a flight suit.
Yeah, most guys that are air crew, they live in a flight suit.
And I had to turn those damn things in when I left service.
Really?
You don't get to keep those.
I got to keep my BDUs. You can have them if you want. I got some.
Well, I got lots of BDUs.
I got BDUs and DCUs.
Yeah. My problem with the flight suit is they're so thin, and if you have sensitive ears, you can cover your ears at this point. But your legs rub together. And so on the flight suits, they're so thin they actually rub off in that area. And so you carry Desitin with you because it's sore all the time.
I get you. A little bit of friction going on there. Yeah.
But the flight suits were terrible because they don't wick the sweat away from your body like normal clothing is
Well, they're
supposed
designed
to
to push blood into your head when you get to certain altitudes. So.
I didn't have that type of flight suit. Just regular flight suits. It's kind of like painter's clothes.
Yeah, it's a jumpsuit.
It's a jumpsuit.
I wore
didn't
one
have
similar
any
when I did
pressure in it or
hydraulic
anything.
crap.
Now, I did have a regular air mask was issued to me, like the ones that the fighters use and stuff. And I had to turn that back in. But I still have the bag that it goes in. And I used it for other things, but
that was
what you put your mask in and carried it with you.
When I out processed, I got to keep uniforms and stuff. But one day I didn't get to keep my chem gear. I had to turn that back.
Yeah, they're really kind of weird about some of this stuff, and they
keep
don't.
The mask? I don't have anything
They don't
to spend.
reissue it. They don't reissue it to somebody else. So what the hell do they want it back?
Well, and technically, the only thing that's worth a hill of beans is the actual mask. Like the rest of the outfit is training. You won't use it in real world. When you get to real world, they hand you the chem gear in a Ziploc or a sealed bag, and that's what you put on. Everything that they give you here is training gear. It's,
I know.
It's not real
Well,
world.
I mean, I still got my mucklucks and all that crap. It's like
I had
wore
to turn
it
that
once.
back in.
I wore it once.
When I went to Italy, when I got sent to Italy for 5 months, When we started bombing Kosovo, when you go to war and you need things, they just give it to you. And it was kind of nice because they gave us...
Not if you believe Heartbreak Ridge.
Well,
you got to fill out everything in triplicate.
Well, they just handed me stuff. Like, they handed me a complete cold weather kit with the muckalux, all that I had to turn in. But I got a whole Gore-Tex suit for free that I took, that I still have to this day.
I had the best gloves ever were the flight gloves that and I wore those for years. And I worked at a place where I delivered specialty produce and stuff.
Yeah.
I took them off and set them down for 5 minutes, and somebody stole them.
Oh yeah,
They must be really hot commodity then.
Military grade uniforms is good stuff.
Well, this is good. It's
I will tell you that the Nomex underwear is the best ever, and that got stolen too.
Somebody stole your undies? Wow.
Nomex underwear it's so highly
to combat that. The underwear they give you in basic training is the complete opposite of that.
Oh, I know.
They will not survive your basic training. By the end of your basic training, those underwear look like
except for
Tarzan's
the ones,
loincloth. They're
except for the ones that you had to fold in 4-inch squares and iron.
Yeah,
but,
but those you never wore. They just sat there in the box.
It was for show. For
the rest of them stood in the dirty clothes bag.
I know. But the you wore those long johns. You wore them every day.
Yeah,
because they didn't overheat, and they felt nice.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't have them on and you wore that flight suit, then you had a rash all the damn time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a.
I lived in BDUs. That was my.
I know.
Now they had summer weight and winter weights for BDUs, and
well, that makes sense.
I generally would wear my winter weights all the time.
Why?
Because, well, I work flight line, so 99% of the time, as soon as I get to the office, my shirt comes off. I'm wearing the brown T-shirt or black T-shirt underneath, so I'm just wearing the BDU pants. Because 9 times out, that's my day.
One thing we'd always lose all the time is our damn covers.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to wear a cover on the flight line.
Nope.
And it's like, where the hell did I put it?
At no point. So that usually
So
sits at
I
the
think
office.
I bought like 7 or 8 of them when I was in the service because you just constantly lose it. And either that or you put them in there was a zipper at the by your ankle and you stuffed it down in there, but it didn't always stay. So.
Yeah, and for us, like, see, the reason I went with winter weights all the time is because they take the starch better and
less wrinkling.
Well, they're also more difficult. I mean, you have to wear the winters a lot to get them broken in.
But once you break
so they're comfortable.
Yeah, but because. At no other time in my life have I put as much starch in my clothing as I did in the United States military.
Oh, I refuse to put starch in mine because it just...
My BDU shirt was so starched up that I could literally set it on a table and it would stand up right there. It was that
doesn't surprise me.
And like the creases on the sleeves, you could cut paper. They were that sharp. That was
why?
Because that's standard. You dress, your boots are shined, your creases in your uniform, that's how you're supposed to be.
Oh.
And now, granted, I'm a flight line guy. So once a week, I would iron and starch that BDU shirt. And that's the last time. On Sundays, that's what I did. I would sit there and I'd spend the day starching all my uniforms and I wear. But the problem is, because of what I did, I take the shirt off and it goes on the hanger. And this is a problem with a lot of maintainers. Your pants look like dog crap because you're wearing them on the flight line. And then your shirt looks immaculate.
Okay. I think we need to get on track here a little bit because we're running short on time.
Stan Lee's got to tell you that. So, yeah.
But, yes, the drawing is very important. $10 per 6 for $50.
Yes.
It's a 1911 A1 and Lady Lavender 38. It's a nice his and hers or his
it's really
and his
beautiful,
or
actually.
her and her.
Like the lavender, it's not like when I heard it, I was thinking it was like it's going to be a purple gun.
No.
They infuse the lavender into the metal, so it's got a swirl look to it. So it's really cool.
It's a pretty sheen.
I mean, technically it's more girlish, but it looks pretty manly to me too.
But bear in mind, we've got Veterans Day Parade coming up. We need sponsors for the Veterans Day Parade as much as we can. We're trying to do some additional advertising this year, and we don't have the funds for it. But anybody out there that wants to donate any money, I don't really care what the amount is per se, but we need a little bit of infusion of cash right now so that we can get the word out. We don't have an official speaker chosen yet. I know an offer has been made, but I haven't heard yet. I think the VFW is the ones sponsoring the speaker this year.
Okay.
Mike, of course, Winters is going to be your MC.
Yes.
We have at least one parade marshal. His name is Larry. I can't remember his last name. Anyway.
Lots of Larrys around here, so.
No.
Yeah. But we're trying to get Billy Joe Allen, if she's wheelchair bound, but she's also 101 years old.
I'm about to say,
we're going to try to get her to attend again this year as a parade marshal.
That, so.
Yes,
Fingers crossed,
that would
hopefully.
be good. There's a guy named, was it Donahue or Donahue? Donahue. Yeah, he's been tasked with possibly doing some patriotic music.
Oh, cool.
This year. Tom Blake said that he would do it if this guy was unable to or whatever, but he would also donate the use of his equipment if the guy didn't have his. But I think he's a professional, so we're thinking that he's got that.
And if Tom's there too, that's okay.
Unit 28 is going to have the wreaths out there again. I'm not sure who's going to be presenting the wreaths.
Scouts and the auxiliary.
Yeah, well, we don't really have a Cub Scout pack this year.
This is true.
They all kind of transferred to other people, but I don't know who's going to do the presentation, but somebody will do that. Anybody who wants to be in the parade, there is no fee.
Nope.
Just show up and we'll marshal you in at some point. If you have motorcycles, please ride in the parade.
Sure.
If you have, specialty cars or anything, I know that we've contacted, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that does the car shows here in town. And a couple of times they've had a few
They'll bring the
cars,
car club cars out
at the Wool Bowl and stuff like
Very
that.
cool.
But if you have one and you want to show it off,
or if you want to create a float for the parade,
well, we don't call them floats; they are rolling demonstrations,
displays.
You want to call it rolling, whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
Well, the insurance won't cover if you call it a float.
If you want to have a vehicle and put things on it and roll it through the parade, then you can.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Call it
So
whatever you want to call it.
As long as it's not political, we're good with that.
We'll call it a pancake. If you want a pancake in the parade, then
pancake.
Yeah.
So we got that going. The other thing too is Wreaths Across America is coming up.
'Tis the time of year.
We need people to sponsor wreaths. I got 2 sponsored last night. Marianne Murphy with PGR, but we need more.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this, this is we've been doing this for several years now. Wreaths Across America is a national organization that hires veterans to make wreaths. And they also do other veterans work and stuff, but this is kind of the nuts and bolts of it. And they make wreaths, and the goal is they sell the wreaths. What are they going for this year?
$17.
$17 a piece. Per piece. And the goal is to lay a wreath on the grave as many veterans across the country as humanly possible.
We got about 300 out at Memory Lawn. We normally can cover the vast majority of those, and then we'll put one down at Chavez County Lawn, and we have one of our former members is at McBride, so we generally put one down there, and then we try to put one in front of each one of the flags at McBride. But the more the merrier. If
Put
we
it this
can
way,
get
if
more.
we've got 500 wreaths, then we're going to put 500 out. We've been averaging, like you said, about 200-300 here. That's kind of we can take 300 and that would almost fill Memory Lawn, right? Almost. It's probably wouldn't get them all, but it would get majority.
No, it would. If we had 300,
that
we
would cover memory
all
lawn.
of the memory lawn.
Obviously, at Bayesian
we have
Veterans Park, there's a lot more of it.
297 at last count. Although it might be 298. I think they uncovered one of the graves that had been kind of covered over, and I think they determined that was a veteran as well. So we're discovering more vets out there all the time. Speaking of memory lawn, we're going to have a cleanup day out there very soon. I don't think it's been scheduled just yet, but
as soon as we get
I know
the date,
we
I'll
have a
let everyone
couple of landscapers that want to come out there and help out. So, and they're real knowledgeable on the trees and the bushes and things of that nature. So we're going to try to do some additional maintenance out there really soon.
Sure.
Any help we can get from the community would be great. I know that Ralph Green just did a video out at Memory Lawn for us.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm going to have an expansion page on the website. We're going to talk about the various cemeteries and stuff. So we're going to have one video chosen for each cemetery. He did one of South Park, one for Memory Lawn. He's got other ones in his arsenal, and he's going to go redo a couple of them. But we're going to start highlighting each one of the cemeteries and stuff because we have veterans in all of these places, and we want to make sure that, I know it's not something that is comfortable for a lot of people to talk about, but when you finally pass, you'd like to know what the choices are out there.
Absolutely. So. And I can tell from our perspective as veterans, we're built a certain way, and by design, we take care of our own. And so if we know there's some veterans out there that are lost, forgotten, the graves, we're going to do what we can to make sure that is rectified. That's just what we do.
Yep.
And because it is that much more important to us. We chew dirt with some of these people. We know what they go through, and their memory does not deserve to be forgotten. And so we will. That's why we do Wreath Across America. That's why we chosen as opposed to sponsor, support, and own Memory Lawn Cemetery.
Well, that and I want to tell everybody that the PGR is looking for members. They actually made me, I think, an honorary member yesterday. I'm not sure why, but they said that the only requirement is that you're able to hold a flag. So apparently you don't have to have a motorcycle or anything to join the PGR. So we need people there. We need people at the Chavez County Honor Guard, stuff like that. We need
those guys. They guys do
nature.
so much. You don't realize how those Chavez County. They're just about every ceremonies, funerals. Those guys are busy.
Yeah, and I'd like Don to do a little plug here for Southeast Veterans Transport. They've been real busy lately, and
I imagine you probably need more drivers. You can always need more drivers.
Yeah, we just added one more. Yesterday, I took him for his first training drive up to Albuquerque. So Sam Acosta.
Okay.
Just a little shout out to him.
Thank you for serving, Sam. It's so that you're dedicating your time to help out some veterans.
Yeah, he's a National Guard graduate, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. Is he a younger man or is he?
No, he's
usually it's retirees because they have the time to.
Yeah, he's in his 60s. He's retired. Yep. But and I understand there is another driver. Of course, Jen is now driving for.
Oh, are you? Good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I do the local stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we still need more drivers. We always can use more drivers.
If you got time, whether it's a day a week or a couple days a week, whatever it is, we'll put you into the rotation. And the more people available, the less work. It's more hands, less work.
That's right.
If you get
I drive once a week typically when I can now.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you're available for more, we'll put you to work.
And you don't have to be a veteran to volunteer. I'm not a veteran. I just wanted to help out veterans.
Just got to be valid driver, I guess.
Yeah.
Have a valid driver's license. And
you do have to have
clean driving record.
A reasonably clean driving
maybe a
record.
ticket here and there, but if you've got a history of crashing into
I
things,
had a speeding ticket. It's not my fault though. I was coming down off the hill too fast.
Hey, it happens.
The other thing I want to mention is Farmers Market. This weekend is the last weekend that Family 61 will be represented at. We typically we're at Farmers Market until Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and as we all know, that starts Monday.
Yep.
So we will have a booth in the commercial building at the northwest corner. And
is it the same spot as last year?
It should be. I don't know. I wasn't there. Remember, I was
that's
in
right. You were
hospital.
there. Well, if it was the same spot as last year, then you go and hang a left and go to the row on the left, and we were like halfway down there.
Second or third booth.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys moved.
We weren't very far from the Chaves County Republican, like you could see that over the corner.
They sit in the northeast corner.
Yeah,
there.
we were just down the aisle from
I didn't know that. I thought that we were on the other side. So we're on the northeast side this year.
Yeah.
So we'll be there. We also have a booth in the educational building as well. So
display.
We'll have
it's a display.
We'll have a
no
static
person,
display there and such.
And while you're in there, go check out the model railroaders. Go check out the big giant pumpkins. Go check out all the arts and crafts.
There's lots of really cool stuff in that building.
I love the quilting stuff. That's so cool.
My boss is one of the main guys over at the railroaders now.
Oh,
that's
nice.
his passion. When my boss, he works here pretty much 24/7, but the one day he's over playing with trains.
A kid at heart. I like it.
That's
right. As you know, we don't do the Halloween thing anymore. It's too bad because it was really a hot commodity for several years, but we don't do that anymore.
Maybe when our new digs
building
are up
is,
and running, maybe we can bring
I don't know.
back.
Don, do you want to give an update on the new building?
We're going to tear it all down.
Start over.
No, we took a good hard look at it, and that building that is presently there has got so many problems that it would be cheaper for us just to level it and rebuild.
I can see that because when we were walking around and looking, and I mean, you could, but you're right. There's so much. I mean, you could bare bones it, but it's pretty bare bones as it is, and and you're right. It probably
off.
just take a bulldozer,
take it
to
down
and start fresh.
It'll be basically the same layout that we want. Or we were planning on.
Decide, like, you don't put a steel building
it'll be
there or whatever.
slightly adjusted. We got to move it back 40 feet if we do that. So that had a grandfather clause where the building was right out on Second.
Okay.
Well, if we knock it down, then we lose that grandfather. We got to move it back 40 feet.
That shouldn't be a problem with the American Legion. And if we had
we can make it work.
Commercial building, I'd be
this will work much better.
Yeah.
Same square footage. It's still and pretty much the same layout. We're trying right now to get the smaller building. We just had a carpenter come in there just earlier this week and checking things over and taking measurements so they know what materials we're going to need to
that
get
building
that
doesn't have to come down.
Yeah.
Just
it's
the
a
main
good building. Yeah.
It just needs a freshen up.
Yeah. Well, we got to do a complete inside rebuild on that, but that's fine. That works.
But I
good.
imagine the electrical and all that is probably severely outdated and needs to be updated. I'm sure that building was built. I certainly didn't know about internet at that time. And
No.
I'm sure
HVAC and wiring.
electrical wiring was probably way different.
All
back
new
then, too.
internal stuff, new windows.
Nice.
Make it all look
It's
good.
gonna be a really nice office when we get done with
It
it.
will. It'll look very nice.
The other thing I wanted to get out there is thank you to everybody that went to legion.org/action.
Yes.
We did get the bill across the finish line in the House of Representatives, but it's now just sitting in the Senate not doing anything.
Now send those letters to your senators.
The senators we need right away. So if you got a moment, and it doesn't matter if you were a member of the Legion or not, or a veteran or not, doesn't matter. Legion.org/action. And
I know for a fact that both of our senators that talk about how much they support our veterans now ask them to prove it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I know, but there's a lot at stake this year. The SAVE Act and all that stuff that's going through, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. When you make veterans pawns in this game, then it gets my dander up. Veterans earned these privileges, and if you're cutting them off for a political statement, I don't really care what side of the aisle you're on. It's wrong. It's like stealing out of the collection plate.
Absolutely.
Okay,
just bad business.
I may not be religious, but I would never take $1 out of the communion plate, and that's just how I'm built.
Sure. As I think many of us are.
Bear in mind, we're having quite a shortfall this year supporting our veterans and children. So if you got a extra dollar or something this weekend, please stop by and see us at Farmers Market.
Absolutely.
Back to school supplies and stuff. We need all kinds of donations across the board. Plus, anything over $250 is tax deductible. So if you go on roswelllegion.org on the right-hand side and you click on the sponsorship packages, you can help us out. That
and you can earmark your
great.
donation. Like if you say, well, I want it to go directly to Memory Lawn. So
Yeah,
that's what we'll do.
anything that you want to do, as long as you put it in the memo
Or if
line,
you're
that's
saying,
what we
"Man,
do.
I can't wait to see that new building up. Put it towards that new
Yeah,
building. That's what we'll do.
We've had a few people donate for the renovation of the building, which I'm really grateful for.
I promise we're going to be good neighbors in that part of town. You're going to love us when
I
we're there
think
every day.
this building is going to be quite an enhancement for that area,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping it will help uplift the neighborhood. And,
I think so, too.
And these weapons
get people
drawings
going.
are, that's to go to this end. So we have lots of things we need to pay for.
Yeah.
Such.
So support by buying tickets or making donations or any of the above, or visit us out this Saturday. At the
We're
Farmers
planning
Market,
on
whatever.
creating quite a community center.
Basically, yeah.
I want to emphasize, and this is not a dig on anybody, but our new building will not have a bar in it. The whole point of Family 61 was to be family oriented, and the alcohol sales is just not conducive
Now we'll have a
to
kitchen.
that. Yes. We will have a kitchen.
We like to eat, but we will not have a bar.
It's more, of a heat-up
I'm
kitchen
hoping
than
we'll have
anything
a
else.
commercial.
Yeah, it'll be like a commercial.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll have a commercial-like setup, especially for sanitation and stuff like that, because then we could actually serve actual food and stuff like
Host a
that.
banquet or whatever.
Pancake breakfast.
That's what
or
I'm
something
hoping
like that.
for.
Yes,
But,
that's what we're looking at.
But it all comes down to money, folks.
We're also hoping
That's
to
right.
get the pancake breakfast started here real soon. I know that Robert Frescas was going to try to talk to Andrea Moore.
Yeah, he's our son's
commander about possibly doing a couple of them at the Chamber of Commerce. Another note, normally our business meeting is the first Thursday of the month, but this month we're going to be at Eastern New Mexico State Fair, so the business meeting has moved to the 10th.
Yes.
And that will be at the Chamber of Commerce at 6 p.m.
Speaking of, when is your next Veterans Parade meeting, if anybody wants to come to that?
Yeah, we just set that up.
I imagine it's not next Tuesday because that's right in the middle of the fair. So.
No, it's October
7th.
Is it the 7th?
So it'll be
Yes,
the 2
October
weeks
7th.
from yesterday.
Right.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be
Next
on
Tuesday,
Monday,
not the Tuesday
October 7th at 6 p.m., and that'll most likely be here at the radio
You
station.
say Monday or Tuesday?
It's a Monday.
Okay.
6 p.m.
All right.
Yeah. 7th is the fair. 10th is our business meeting.
Okay.
Correct.
Excellent. All right. So not next Monday, but the Monday after next.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. And we'll remind you as we get close to that event. Don't have to. I'll
Or
remind
if you just want to find out, RoswellLegion.org has lots of
Exactly.
information. So.
Yeah. Or, we're going to be out at the fair all week. Come ask us there.
We went about a year without inquiries on our scholarships, but I gave 4 away in the end of July, early August. So we distributed close to $10,000 this year.
Woot, woot. Thank you for applying, folks.
I've got at least one person in the hopper for next year already. So remember, folks, these are not small apportionments. They're $2,500 each. All you got to do is up to $2,500. But
that'll pay for a semester at Eastern easy.
Easy. And our scholarships pay for tuition, books, fees, and anything directly related to the education in STEM or first responder education.
It's a very broad.
It is.
It is.
Anything
The
from
only-
air conditioning to law enforcement to everything in between.
Right.
There, it
The
qualifies.
only restriction is that you have some relationship to a veteran.
There you go. Yes.
You be the veteran or some direct relationship.
Mom or dad, or
I mean, it could be
like
grandparents, it could be parents, could be
uncle's
children.
twice removed. We're going to draw a
Yeah.
line there, but
Yeah.
but if it's immediate family,
So basically, if you look at the requirements for what it would take to join the American Legion family, that's the relation we're looking for.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. And please, and then there's a short essay. If you go to our website, you'll see all the what you have to do.
Yeah, I
to
think
apply.
Jen had it worked out to so many dollars a word or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
But yeah, please, again, RoswellLegion.org, and then you can read about that, and of course, everything else we do, Memory Lawn, all the stuff there. That's our one-stop.
We
shop
need your
for
help.
everything About us.
Everybody out there, anyone that can hear me, we need you.
Yep. Come see us Saturday. Come see us at the fair next week.
Yeah,
And even if you can't volunteer regularly, even if you just want to volunteer for a special project, just let us know.
Yeah.
What are you interested in? What are you good at?
Got a Veteran Day parade coming up.
Right.
A lot of volunteers there.
Exactly.
So, well, thank you, guys. I appreciate the visit. I know we got about 10 other things to do after this.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
At least.
So we'll see you guys next time, if
Yes.
not sooner. All right, 9:57. Let's go ahead and take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Are you ready to succeed? The School of Arts and Sciences at ENMU Roswell covers a broad curriculum. The certificates and degrees offered within these programs will prepare students to realize personal, professional, and occupational objectives, from ag science and agricultural technology to behavioral science, biology, bookkeeping and accounting, business administration, criminal justice, education, and mathematics. ENMU Roswell can set you up for success. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Here in Roswell, we work hard for our money. That's why it's important to spend our money wisely. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When I walk through our store, I'm really impressed with the furniture we sell. It's so beautiful and so comfortable you could just feel the quality. This is furniture you'll be proud of for years to come. Furniture that your family will enjoy every day. Furniture that will last and last. Get the most from your hard-earned money. Come see us at Glenn's Furniture, where delivery is free since 1953.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Quiet, mixed trading on Wall Street ahead of this morning's opening bell. Markets hovered around record highs. KB Home tumbled more than 6% pre-market after the home builder missed Wall Street profit expectations as demand softened early in the summer. Online fashion styling service Stitch Fix slid 26% in off-hours trading after it posted a wider than expected fourth quarter loss. California's avocado growers are fuming about a U.S. decision to surrender pest inspections of Mexican orchards to the Mexican government. A strike by more than 1,000 workers at a Samsung India electronics plant has entered its third week. It's a dispute over pay and the right to union representation. Unpacking his economic plan, former President Trump says he'd like to reduce the corporate tax rate to 15%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
According to the Israeli military.